This is Justin Newhook.
I'm Matt Connors. We are Sabotage.
You're watching our interview with New Scott at newscott.com.
Alright, I'm back here with another New Scott interview, and today in studio we have Justin Newhook and Connors, your current reigning defending UCW Tag Team Champions. How you doing today, fellas?
Good, and yourself?
I'm good.
Pretty good, man.
Were you guys a fan of professional wrestling growing up?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What was it about it?
Everything about it. The theatrics, just seeing these big dudes beat the crap out of each other. You know, I don't know. I just loved the spectacle, man. It was just
Storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just huge.
Anything just telling a great story was what caught my eye. So.
Who were some of the guys you watched
Taker.
when you were... how old are you?
31.
And you're...
32.
Okay.
I don't know. People like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and stuff like that. They were just like, I don't know. They were just so flashy, and I don't know. They just grabbed me. The way they were in the ring. They told like that great story. You know what I mean? Like in their characters, you know, like just amplified that, and I love it.
Great answer.
Great answer.
What was it about wrestling that made you guys think you could do it? And at what point did you realize that this is something that you might want to pursue?
I grew up in Newfoundland and on the West Coast, so there was no training school, there was no access to any indie shows, anything like that. But from when I was like 14, 15, I was watching it, and I was like, I understand the movements. Not how they're doing it or what it is, but I understand that they're working together. I understand that they're trying to tell a story. It's like I could do that. And then it wasn't until I was like 27, I think, or 26, that I found a school here. Because I didn't know, when I first moved here, I didn't even know any of that.
Just from watching it when I was younger, I had like that group of friends that I always wanted to, you know, mess around in the backyard. So like, we were all huge wrestling fans, and you know, we'd all pick our favorite wrestler and be like, "I'll be Jeff Hardy today," and whatever. And you know, so we'd always like wrestle around the backyard. We'd like, you know, we got the moves fine. We just like never were trained, obviously. So
I played sports most of my life. Not at like any high level or anything, but
right.
I was always in some sports program. I was active,
absolutely,
to some degree.
The same thing. So that level of athleticism, like, and just the love of the sport,
yeah,
and just the knowledge of like you said, that those movements together.
Yeah.
It just kind of clicked when we were younger, and then you were 27, I was 29,
I guess.
And I found the school here with Gary. And got
You
trained.
said you never went to any shows in Newfoundland.
There was
St. John's had a fairly active independent scene.
They did.
And there were other promotions from here that ran across Newfoundland from times.
I love how he knows this.
You never went to any shows?
There was 2 shows that came through Corner Brook.
Yep.
And I'd say about 15 to like 17 age when they came.
Yep.
And
do you remember if it was mainstream or UCW?
It was.
At what time? What year would that have been?
God, that would have been like 2002.
Okay.
It was. I want to say it was UCW. One was UCW, one was mainstream.
Then.
No, okay, so it was definitely mainstream then.
Yep.
It was Big
Grimes.
Giant Grimes.
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved him. I have a picture back home in Newfoundland, a Polaroid picture of me with a headlock on him.
That's amazing.
The wrong way too, right? And he doesn't correct me, not obviously.
Yeah.
That's back home somewhere. I'll try to get that picture of it to you.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was when Honky Tonk Man came through at one point.
Okay. Yeah, that would have been mid to late 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was before I graduated. I know that. That was 2005. So.
Okay.
And
it
then,
might have been 2005.
And there was a guy named, I think, Kyle Sebastian.
Yeah.
That was like the stand.
Was Short Sleeve Samson on that tour?
I don't believe.
You
I
don't believe?
can't
Okay.
remember as much of it.
Yeah.
But I remember Kyle Sebastian because
Yeah.
he came in. He was the pretty boy. He had
Yeah. Still wrestles at West.
Yeah, and I could not remember the name for years.
Yeah.
And then it just like a picture popped up one day of him tagged.
Yeah.
That was him, and like he was the one that stood out because he was just like one of the best looking ones.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so you never went to any of the St. John's shows?
No,
Anything
no,
like that?
the only shows I've seen in St. John's were WWE ones.
Okay.
Like I was only.
They didn't come very often.
No, right? So it's very rare. But yeah, as for the promotions in in St. John's, they never came out west
Right.
that I know of.
Yeah,
right?
they would have been Cutting Edge Wrestling and Legend City Wrestling and EW something. EWE maybe? Yeah,
Maybe.
Atomic Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah,
They mostly ran bars, but they didn't really travel
No.
that much. Legend City would have, but that would have been later. That would have been like 2011.
Yeah, I was
10
gone
or
at that
something.
point. Yeah.
And did you go, Connors, did you go to indie wrestling shows here?
Yeah,
You're
like
from Halifax?
yeah, from Halifax. So when I first started going,
We're good. Sorry about that. I can take that off. It's a ringtone for my mom.
no, when I started going watching like when RIW was running at the exhibition.
Okay.
Excuse me, exhibition park all the time.
Right.
And so
2001?
yeah, so like
Yeah,
Bobby
2000.
Roode and Gary
Yeah.
and like Chi Chi and Pete and
amazing.
Mike and it was just whoa, massive.
It's so crazy how many of us were in that building at the same time that are around now. Like
Right.
I was at all those shows.
had
But
no
none
idea.
of us knew each other, right?
I knew
Yeah.
none of this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
too, like-
amazing. It was like it was always packed. It was amazing wrestling. The crowds were like hyped. Those guys just like got them just going, man. It was the best times. So yeah, we got to go see all that, and then leading up to like UCW at like in Spryfield and stuff like that, and then like their bigger shows. So I was there for a lot of them. There was a few that I just didn't go to or whatever, but I tried to get as much as I could, but. Yeah, so I guess I was kind of spoiled compared to him because he didn't really get a whole lot.
Yeah.
So like when I'm talking, when me and Emily are talking about stories like,
I'm just sitting there like, oh, that
like,
sounds
are you
cool.
kidding?
Like I wish I was there for that.
yeah. So yeah, I think I was pretty blessed to get to grow up with some good wrestling.
My third indie show was TCW.
Yeah.
The third show watching was TCW over in Dartmouth.
It's a sports box?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was just before I went on deployment. And I remember going in there and like the ring looked like crap. It looked so scary for anyone to step in.
What?
The entrance was like, okay. Apparently he was doing music on that show. At this point we never met.
What year was this?
2013.
13.
No, yeah,
13, 14?
Yeah, 2013. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then I remember the matches. Going, holy,
That was filmed for TV too.
I think so.
It was, yeah.
So I remember seeing
Yeah.
I remember seeing like some of the guys, and like Dick During was on the card.
Yeah.
I think Pipes was there. I think Remy was there.
Ed was probably
Fantana. Who was the Hicks? They were tag champs at the time.
I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
The guy from
R&R.
Ontario.
It's not-
Oh no, not from Ontario. R&R, the something Express.
Yeah, Rick and anyways, yeah, those
Yeah.
guys.
I forgot
And
about those
I just
guys.
remember watching it, going, okay, like some of these guys are really good. Like they can go. I was like, okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Went on deployment, came home, and the fourth show I seen was Wrestle Center, their debut show.
Okay.
Yeah,
AJ Styles.
I was sitting in the crowd, and I'm just looking at the ring, going, it's completely different compared to
Yeah.
the TCW one.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
It was awesome.
What are some of your memories of the Real Action days? Like, do you have any matches or shows that stand out?
Oh man, I was like so young and just like blown away by like all of it. One of my most like vivid memories was I can't remember who he was facing, but Massive Damage like jumped off the second balcony like through
Yeah.
the table.
I don't remember who that was either.
Yeah,
It might have been Eddie Watts, maybe? I can't remember for sure. I've had him film.
It was
But, yeah.
insane. Like that was like, and then the guys behind us like were
bloody-
probably our age now, like
Yeah.
were losing their minds.
No
Like it was
way.
insane. Like so, like I was this little kid. Like these guys are like going nuts.
Yeah.
This guy just went through a table from the second. Like it was great.
Sweet.
Yeah, stuff like that was great. I like I said, I kind of got spoiled compared to you.
Very much so.
And now, like looking back, it's like I was trained by one of the guys I watched all the time,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
How did you discover indie wrestling in each area? Like, how did you know it was coming in Newfoundland, and how did you know it was here in Halifax?
Posters.
Posters?
Yeah,
So
posters.
you're just walking around seeing
Yeah.
a poster?
Like superstores.
So, like, I didn't discover indie wrestling until 2001. I had heard of Grand Prix, but
Right.
I didn't really understand what it was. I mean, I knew it was wrestling, but I didn't get it. I was a WWE kid. I grew up in WWE.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never saw a poster anywhere till Scott Savage walked into the place I worked with a poster. after that day, I couldn't not see them anywhere. Like everywhere I look, I see your guys' faces on poles and stuff like that. Do you guys, was it kind of the same for you, or did you always see them around beforehand?
No, I think it was the same type of thing. It's like it's like the new car thing. You buy a new car and you're like, oh, no one's gonna have this, and then you see like a million of them. Like, oh,
I remember seeing a poster once, and then
I just seen them everywhere because I'd always go to the grocery store. I would, like, if I was working or like wherever, like I just seen them all over the place. I don't know who was doing them, but I tried to go to as many as I could. It was good.
What was it? I kind of asked this, but neither of you guys, I mean, you're taking it more seriously now in the gym and fitness and stuff. Neither of you guys were like in good, I wouldn't say good shape when you first started training, first started wrestling. I know when I watched wrestling, and not once did I look at the television and be like, I can do that, because those guys were massive. Justin, you're like 6'2", so you're kind of taller. Yeah. Connors, you're tall, but you were thinner.
6'2" as well.
Oh, you're 6'2"? Okay.
Yeah.
But you were a bit thinner than Justin. What was it about it that made you think you could hang in there and do it?
It was I don't know if you could say craziness or stupidness of it, but the willingness to let my body go.
Right.
The willingness to get in there, and I never ever thought I'd be able to be the size of half those people.
Right.
But as for the ability to be able to run the ropes and do moves and stuff, I thought I could do that.
Yeah, definitely the athleticism part. I mean, I knew there'd be some like learning curves for sure, but
maybe for you.
Oh, shut up. But no, the athleticism part, I just felt like it was for me. I don't know, like it was just kind of natural feeling.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
it was just one of those natural feelings. Looking at it, going, I need to be in there. And that's all it was for me. It was just I never thought I got older and like in my mid-20s and just like never thought I'd ever get a chance to go in a ring. Yeah. And then it just presented itself. So I said I have to go for it now.
Why did it take so long for you guys to get into the gym and take it more serious?
Lazy.
Because you don't always have to be a bodybuilder, but you got to be in shape.
No, yeah, you have to be in shape. You have to be able to you're picking up people. Yeah. You have to be safe and you have to be able to do it.
Because if everybody looked like John Cena, then it would just be the same, right? Everyone, just because you're not jacked and ripped, it doesn't mean you're not in shape, right?
Exactly.
Kind of, like, it's definitely laziness, but it was more so, I'm 6'2". At the time, I was like 230 or 240. Like, I wasn't strong, but I was able to pick up most of the people around here.
Right.
Like, it wasn't hard.
Mm-hmm. That's fair, because the people here are pretty small.
Especially compared to us. But they're not that they're small, but compared to me, like, I'm, most of them are around 180. Yeah. Like, I can pick that up easy. Yeah. So it was just, didn't take it seriously enough. Just thought just how to coast by with our abilities behind the scenes, like behind the curtain. We tried to ride that ride too long. Yeah. And then we're like, okay, we obviously can't do that.
No, well, it really started to show, like, you can see in the matches, like, it really affected the matches big time. It's, quite embarrassing to go back and watch them, but, like, I don't want to use better late than never, but I'm gonna. Right? Like, and we've been hitting it hard. I mean, I'm still working on my shoulder and stuff and working around it as best I can, but, we're in the gym like 4, 5, 6 days a week, sometimes 7.
Have a personal trainer now.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, like, I went to the gym for a good 2 years, but my diet was shit.
Yeah. Can't out-train a bad diet.
No. You can't.
I've tried. I've tried my hardest.
And then just not knowing, no knowledge.
Yeah.
So no knowledge.
So lucky that way.
But like no knowledge whatsoever. Just going, okay, well that works arms, but not understanding. And like now with our trainer and stuff, it just makes it so much easier, so much better. Yeah.
Do you guys notice a difference now in your matches from when you started training?
Oh yeah.
In the gym?
100%. Yeah. He got in the ring Saturday and he noticed his strength went up. Yeah. So he was just like, because we were in there with Jeff, and Jeff's like 180, 190, whatever he is. Like, it's not heavy or anything like that. But Connor's just like, Easily.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see. I got to work on my cardio way more.
Yeah.
But that's just, and it's an excuse, but it's true. But
Yeah.
just this whole sinus shit is just
A lot of like start-stop cardio for what you do is a lot different than anybody can learn to run straight on a treadmill. It's
Yeah.
way different. Like start-stop.
Yeah,
Stuff
and that's
that
what I got to
wrestlers,
utilize a
athletes
lot
do.
more. So.
Yeah.
There's no cardio like ring cardio.
It's not. It's totally different. Like you can run on a treadmill in a straight line
Yeah.
forever. The
Go.
second you guys, like I know it from, I don't know it from pro wrestling, but I know it from MMA training. Like I thought I was in the best shape ever, and I was in better shape than a lot of people, but I was still blown up on the mat at the end, not wanting to move. Like I was just like, man, if I'm feeling like this, one of those guys, because I'm in good shape, or I thought I was. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no difference. Right? There's a huge difference.
Yeah.
I mean, than
No
than that.
comparison whatsoever.
Yeah, none.
So how did you go about finding a professional wrestling school?
You remember Sean?
Richie?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we were on deployment together, and he's an officer and I'm an NCM. So like
You and John Richie.
yeah. So like he's much higher ranking than me, and we're not supposed to be buddies and hang around and stuff. But I remember I was standing in the hall I was standing in the ship, and they were just talking about wrestling, me and my buddy, and Sean was walking by, and he heard, and he just stopped, and he's like, talking wrestling? Like, yeah, we are actually. And from there on in, it was like we always got the pay-per-views sent to us on a USB, or like someone would burn it off and we'd watch it on the ship. And so when we came back from deployment, we went to the first show, the Wrestle Center show. And then like 2 weeks later, he found out that the school was like worked through Wrestle Center. So he sent me like the email, and right away it was my only time, my only chance, so might as well do it now.
Did you guys know each other ahead of time?
No.
No. How did you find the school?
Through him.
Through him.
Because you had basically just finished.
Oh, so you trained beforehand? Before him?
Yeah.
A year before.
So how did you guys meet? I guess that should have been my first question.
It's all good.
I had messaged
Yeah.
TCW.
Yeah.
I was doing music for TCW at the time.
How did you get that?
I just messaged Cyril. I went to one of the shows and I was like, hey, your music kind of sounds like ass. And I had a PA system. And I was just
I remember
like,
looking
hey,
at the
man.
first Wrestle Center show. Sorry to cut you off. I remember looking at the first Wrestle Center show and it just being like a curtain.
Yep.
And me going, I was just going, man, I could make this look so much better. Just because I love the production side of it. But yeah.
And that was basically like what I did with the sound. As soon as I heard it, I was like, man, I can make this sound a million times better. So I messaged Cyril. I was like, hey, I have a PA system. You mind if I bring it? He was like, yeah, sure, cool. Anyway, so I brought it. I did sound up until the point where whatever happened with TCW.
Yep.
I went
That
to
interview
see.
is coming.
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so there was. I went to see a couple of Wrestle Center shows again via posters, and I had messaged Jason and told him what I had done.
Jason Mosier?
Yeah, Jason Mosier. What I had done with TCW and like setting up the ring and like music and whatever. And he was like, "Cool, an extra hand wouldn't hurt." So the ring was being rented out to a movie studio in Dartmouth. Yeah, it was
It was just this huge white wall that had like a
It was like curved at the bottom.
like
It was
curve
like
at the
transition.
bottom.
It was so
That was
cool.
for like music videos and stuff. So they rented out the ring for a music video shoot.
wow.
Yeah. So I met him at the U-Haul locker in Dartmouth, and Jason just told me to go there, and he was there, and that was the first day we met. And here we are.
Yeah, so I remember pulling up. I was still in my uniform. I just got off work. Never had time to change or anything like that. I just walk up and it's him, our buddy Andrew. There was somebody else there. I can't remember. Really can't
Ryan,
remember.
maybe?
No, I really can't remember. And then Jason. So I was like, all right, is this all we have? 4 people? He's like, yeah. So 4 people had to load it into the truck, bring it up to the thing. We all had to set it up and everything, which is fine. But like the second I walked up, of course I'm analyzing everybody, and I shake his hand. I'm like, okay. And then we go to I just right away. It was like, I think I'm gonna like this guy. And then we went to the shoot area, and it was like I had a second me. I didn't have to like explain anything. I didn't have to like. Right away, I knew the guy worked his entire life, and like just he got it. I was like, okay, cool. Like I didn't have the rest. I had to like guide them around and everything. So was that 3 years ago now?
Yeah. Was the school in Burnside at that point, or in Titans?
Years.
Mine was in Titans. His was in Burnside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. It was just up by the Tim Hortons off Akerley.
Okay.
Just up in there. It was a tiny
What
little
was,
spot.
what was the name of the street? Wasn't it like Mosier Avenue? Or
It
some
was.
shit?
It was,
Yeah.
off
Like, how
of-
fucking weird is that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess we just went.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, try doing an interview with Gary. Not
Nope.
not gonna happen.
Nope.
Who was in your? You trained first. Who was in your training class?
Me, Brett, Jordan,
Get yourself over first, eh?
of course, obviously. Fucking Reggie.
yeah. Hogan.
Hogan, thank you.
His poor arms.
Yeah.
He's so small.
Yeah, I know. There's another one that I'm not even going to say his name. And yeah, I think there was 5 or 6. There was somebody else that like dropped it right away though. I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, we went through Titans, and it was just 2 days at the weekend type thing, and go up there whenever you want. So James Smith.
Yep.
He used to take me up all the time, just me and him, like, because no one else would want to go. So
Tommy Starr.
Tommy Starr. That's what I always call him. So it's weird. That's why James Smith.
Yeah. Most generic.
Yeah, and I can't remember it, right? Because there's always Tommy to me. So.
Yeah. And who was in your training class?
So there was Madison, Jacob Moore, Shane Colley, Big John.
Oh yeah. For a bit.
And then there was, what's that guy's name?
Well, Casey was one of them.
Casey was one of them.
Casey was in there. As well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey McKay.
He never got to finish his training due to personal stuff, so he came back and like basically.
Redid it through Troy's.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Look at him now, man. God love him.
I think that was it.
Yeah, but there was those two other. There was like a couple that dropped out within like the first week.
Oh yeah, Garripy.
Joseph.
Joe Garripy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he started
I knew
with
that.
us.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I think there was another guy.
I like
But, yeah.
He's a good dude. I've known he used to go to the. He's been going to the shows for years.
Yeah.
Way back in the
He's
day.
an old man.
I think he's got a kid now. He's married or something. Like, I don't know. Now, both you guys were trained by Gary. Is that right? Now, there's a thing in the Maritimes. I don't know why it exists. There's a zillion people that claim to be trained by Gary that weren't actually trained by Gary. Were you guys actually trained by Gary? I've called people. I know for. I don't know your guys' story.
Yeah.
I've known people that were I back in the day. I filmed every single one of Gary's training sessions for 3 years.
Yeah.
There's people that claim to be there, and I'm like, dude, you're not on any of these tapes. And I've talked about it in interviews and stuff with them.
No, we were trained by Gary. He was there at my first class, my last class.
Was
He
he
was
the
the one.
ones in between?
Yeah, scattered few. And then he was the one who messaged me and gave me the okay to start wrestling.
Good.
Yeah.
And yourself too? He was
Same thing.
Yeah.
100%.
awesome. Now, was there something about training that you guys caught onto easier, and on the other side, was there something that was harder for you guys to learn?
Psychology for me has always not been the hardest, but like it's the most difficult for me to grasp. It was never the movements, you know what I mean? Especially like once I got into the ring and like started training with him, like God bless Jake, but I mean like it was hard training with Jake. Like how do you learn learn a suplex for the first time on a 300-pound kid?
They called for him to do a fucking sunset flip on him. Jacob to do a sunset flip on him. Doesn't get over pancakes and blows his knee out. Because it's like, why would you do that? Anyways.
This is
No, Gary trained me 100%.
For me, it was you just went back on a question.
Yeah,
Went back on a
where was I
question.
going?
What was your hardest?
What was
part?
the
the
hardest
hardest part.
What was the easiest?
The easiest again was like the movements for sure. Like it just felt right. Like running the ropes. Gary even looked at it. He was like, "Well, either you got it or you don't."
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah. The hardest thing for me, halfway through training, I completely forgot how to take a bump altogether. Like, just for some reason, I couldn't take a bump. It was from shoulder tackle. I couldn't take a shoulder tackle. So, because we took a break for training for like...
Not much has changed, huh?
No, I don't bump now. We took a break for a couple weeks. Someone was going somewhere or something, whatever it was. So when we came back, I went to take a shoulder tackle from Brett and just like fell down really awkwardly. Yeah. So it got to the point where Gary's like, "Fuck this!" He jumps in and he broke my ribs that day from a shoulder tackle. Yeah. Not his fault, but I broke 2 ribs just from not taking it properly, and then of course flailing down and stuff. And then I went to go get back in, and he realized something was wrong, and he was like, "No, like, go sit down." Didn't say anything to him. Tried to get back in the next day. He's like, "What's wrong?" Anyways, I was like, "My ribs are broke." He's like, "How the fuck did you do that?" You? He's like, "Still got it." He like walks away. I don't know if I found anything like super difficult. Anything cardio was my difficulty. I was a fat fuck, so out of shape.
I just had asthma and I was out of shape.
How long were your training classes before Gary said you guys were graduated and able to have a match?
Oh.
Shit. I trained for 4 months.
Yeah, I think I was like 4.
Every weekend.
4 months?
Yeah, except I think we took like 2 weekends off because something. It was only on the weekends. I wish it was like a much more like.
Right. That's what he did back in the day too. It was Saturday, Sunday, and the occasional day during the week. Yeah. But it was all day, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, like we did it for 4 hours, like 12 to 4, or sometimes we do like 10 to 2. It was even longer
back then. He would do like 8 to 5. Back then. I have so much footage. It's insane.
I've seen some of it, but I wish it was longer. Yeah. Just because I wish I had more time in the ring to understand things. Right. That's the only reason. Yeah. Yep. Same thing for him, though.
Absolutely.
Do you remember your first? Either one of you? Do you remember your first match? Who was it against, Justin?
It was a battle. Well, my first time in the ring in front of the crowd was Battle Royal. Yeah. CWA. Yeah. Haggerty. Okay. Down in Kentville.
Kentville, yeah.
Yeah. So got put in the Rumble or whatever, which was fine. I was in there, and Joyce, like, I was an idiot. I did a suplex at a Rumble for some reason, so that totally made sense. But later on in the match, I noticed Donnie Vegas is up on the top rope. Yeah. The deuce jumping something to someone, and as I'm seeing it happen, Jim Joyce is laying in the middle of the floor, in the middle of the mat, and I realize what's going to happen. Yeah. So I try to get him out of the way, but he doesn't see what's coming. So someone took the bump right on his head. Oh. So like right away in wrestling, I knew my awareness. Right. I really, and I knew that it was really important. But like I knew my awareness. But yeah, the Rumble was first, and then I had a triple threat. Was my second match. So my first match.
Awful.
Yeah, my first. Oh yeah.
That's a horrible situation to be.
So guess who it was? Me, Jim Joyce, and Sean Ritchie. Nice. Yeah, so 2 brand new guys out of training. Yeah. And God love Jim, but like I didn't know him or anything about him. You know what I mean? So we went in there, had fun. It was, it was a match.
Was that CWA?
CWA as well. Okay. Yeah.
What about you, Connors?
I think my first match was at the Cosmo in front of. Well, this would be like.
I guess I can't even really count that as like my first match.
So the ISW used to do pre-show shows And that show.
Way before like the Mega Pass. Like,
Yeah.
But it was just for the boys.
Just for the boys, right?
So it was
they did
just.
that for a long time.
Yeah.
Did they still do like the live commentary from people sitting at ringside?
Oh yeah, basically. Well, Dick, I remember one time I had one, and it was Dick was the heel, the heel fans, and then the rest of like 8 or 10 the guys were just the faces, right? Yeah. So that was his first time in the ring, I guess. But his first match was with me.
With him, yeah.
It was a tag match.
When, for who? Against who?
Man. That would have been Vision Pro.
No, our first match I think was MSW. Remember we wore the
knee
pads and shit?
Yeah, we had different color, like we had like leopard print knee pads.
I was wearing New Brunswick?
Yeah, like I was wearing sneakers with kick pads.
Yeah.
I had like a red and black it was the shits. Sidewalk Sam and Homeless Bob.
Oh, my back still
what
hurts.
What were they called? They had a name. Something.
Boxcar Boys?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. I love Adam. I don't know the
I love Adam.
I don't know the other guy really well,
Bob's got a great heart too. Bob's a nice guy. Like I've got Pelly. Oh, I love Pelly. Yeah.
Okay, your first time on like a really big show involvement would be Wrestle Center. Is that true?
Yeah.
You guys are trained through the Wrestle Center school, so was it just a natural progression that you guys would be on those shows, or how did that work?
Yeah, it was. They said if you get through training, we'll utilize you.
Oh, Rodney was in my class as well. That's the other dude.
So.
What's up, Rodney?
It was just like a natural progression to the point. Like we were kind of used in the shows before we were even done training because like maybe people running and carry people out or whatever it was. So like people got to know us before we even finished our training school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then finally it just got to the point where he tried to use us a little bit. Never really got off the ground, but.
You were in the crowd at the first show?
Yeah.
Did you go to Wrestle Center shows? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, as a fan?
Yep.
Okay. What show did you guys stop going to being fans at? I don't remember. I don't remember when you guys showed up backstage because I was there. I just don't remember.
I was a part of the second show.
Okay.
I was a part of it backstage. They're like, okay, you're helping with the ring. So.
Yeah.
I would have been like maybe not many shows after that. Maybe like another 2 or 3, if anything.
What were the
ideas? It wasn't too far beyond the first show.
Okay.
Because when I first started, I was like, oh, you guys only had like 4 or 5 shows. Like when
maybe I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to actually think.
Yeah, because it wasn't that long. But
yeah, it wasn't. I'm just trying to think which
exact
like show it was.
The 4th or 5th show. Within there, anyways. Yeah.
So very early on.
Yeah.
I just remember when you guys showed because I would have been there. I just don't remember like the first time
I would have been like
saw
at
you
the
guys.
music table. I go in, set up the sound, and I'd sit there and like wait for orders.
I was like, the first time I remember you was at a TCW show at the Forum, and the sound wasn't working, and you left and went home and got your soundboard and came back. I'm like, thanks, Connors. Like that was the first time I ever met you. Like I don't know who that guy is, but he's awesome. Like I don't.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah. So what was presented to you at Wrestle Center as far as being like part of the shows? Like what was the ideas?
We were like me and Brett and Jordan were students, so we were.
Yeah.
And that's how they wanted to present us. But once we were done school, like I wanted to wear gear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm a fucking wrestler. Like now I want to be, but Jason wanted us still in like, you're still training.
Yeah.
So I had to wrestle in like basketball sneakers and like shorts and shit like that. And it was annoying. But he's like, no, we'll get you guys over as students and then we'll probably make you like a biker thing or something because I own a motorcycle. And I was just like, no, I don't want to do that. Like I really don't. But
no, it was basically the same offer was laid out to us. Like you finish the school and we'll work you into the show or whatever. However.
I don't think you never did. You never did get to make an appearance.
No, there was that one time where I got that one little scene in the hallway on TV. But
he was on some of the TV as my brother.
Did you ever wrestle in Halifax? 'Cause I remember I reffed a match of yours in Kentville, and you did a separation. Like I was holding you back against somebody in Halifax. I don't remember who.
Yeah.
Or what? Did you ever have a match in Halifax?
It was me and Brett versus
we're in Halifax.
Joyce. And bowling.
Yeah.
How was that? Like, how was it working in Halifax? That's like the big city.
Yeah, it was cool.
My air quotes.
It was cool.
Yeah.
No, it was cool. I was still like running. Like I was running around doing everything backstage for Mosier, like running around getting talent and the sound, helping with the sound and everything like that, and also trying to go over the match.
Yeah.
So to me, it was just like, okay, I gotta go do it now. And then I came back and I was back part of like running stuff backstage. So it wasn't like I was like I had a match, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just.
That's the one thing I remember about you guys too. Like I said, I didn't know you guys back then, but you guys were always there. You were there whenever I got there, and you were there when I left.
Yeah.
And you were in and out throughout the day, driving people places, picking people up, setting the ring up, tearing it down, literally doing everything else. I don't know how many people are aware of how much you guys did and,
I don't think so either.
and still do, but you guys definitely deserve the credit for it. I mean, you're two of the hardest working guys I've ever seen at a show, and you don't ever, at least from my perspective, I've never seen you complain about doing anything. I've seen, like, there was a show
I've complained.
I mean, like, and not done it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like, I've never complained about stuff at the show.
Like there was a show where you guys tore down a ring and set up another ring all within like 20 minutes. You guys might have been complaining, but it got done. Do you know what I mean?
Where was that?
That was at the Spryfield. Do you remember? Like you guys.
Oh yeah.
And then you tore it down, set it up, and it was done.
Yeah.
Like that's the stuff like that you guys did.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know that should know.
We, I remember, like I said, the second show of Wrestle Center I was a part of, and it was more of my like military, like take control attitude, but it was also like I want to make the guys look good because at this point I was nowhere near going breaking the curtain.
Right.
So I want to make everyone else look good because if you make everyone look good, they feel better, and you know they'll just feel more comfortable. We've driven 6 hours just to set up a show. Yeah. We went up to Campbellton just to help set up a show for ISW. Yeah. Never got anything like, never got no gas money, no money for like helping out. Yeah. The guys hooked us up with a couple free beers after the show and stuff like that. And
there was it was that night watching Chip and Dick wrestle.
Was when we knew we wanted to do a tag team and like that stuff, But no, as for like being workhorses, you're
well, it's anything for the show. Like I always like presentation to me, like one of my biggest things of watching WWE as a kid was waiting for the pay-per-view to see what the new stage they had. You know what I mean? I was always about the new stage, like what do they got for an entrance? I was like, sweet. So like little things like that around here where you're never gonna get like this big extravagant like LED wall and all this craziness. Like it's just
we designed the past two sets for the UCW shows, the big anniversary shows.
I've
like
seen you guys build them.
Those layouts and everything like that was our idea. Like that's all we want to do is just
production is huge for us. Like you said, like that's the first thing that those people see, and it's the first thing that the talent's gonna like walk out of. So if they feel like they're being presented in like this crazy way with the lights and the smoke and the the great sound, and the people are gonna lose it when they hear their music because it's the first thing they hear, and then the whole presentation of it it just really means a lot. So I take pride in we take pride in it,
and a lot of people that don't know how to drive like U-Haul trucks. Not that they don't know how, but they're too scared. And I guess I get it, but like just our lives, we've driven larger vehicles, and we've worked like I've worked with Fort McMurray, just working on huge vehicles. He drives a dump truck for a living right now. So like the first time I think it was Mosier was like, can someone move the truck? And everyone just kind of stood there. Took the key and like, I got it, it's fine.
Like it's a spaceship, right?
Yeah.
I remember the first time I did it, I was driving like an 85 Toyota Tercel hatchback at the time. And I can't remember who it was. They're like, we need the ring, like someone needs to drive the ring from here to Berwick or whatever it was. And I'm like, I'll do it. White knuckled it the whole way. But after that, I was totally fine.
That's awesome.
I'm alive.
That's awesome.
That's wicked. No, it's just I don't know, anything just to get that show going, man.
Yeah.
Anything.
I got no problem. I have no issue with setting up a show. I'll do it until the day I throw up the boots. You know what I mean? Like, and put away the boots. I absolutely love it. It's just sometimes when you're at shows and like some people aren't helping out, and like I'm famous for it at times too. I got to step away because when we go to shows, it's he does sound, I'll help with the ring, but then I'm also running from the ring to the stage to sound to lights to, and like then Marcus wants something done, so I got to go do that as well. So yeah,
it's just like a design like. It's just such a cluster because we get there and like sometimes we have a stage, sometimes we have a lot of curtains, sometimes we have lights. Now we have a new entrance, so it's like and then in Riverview we had to build a brand new ring and make the ropes for it that day.
So that day. So we get.
I've done that.
Oh man, we
whole
got
new stage, all new lights, new entrance, different projector.
Crazy.
It was a lot. So it was just like get there early and like I get frustrated and stuff, and I get mad at they don't get mad at people, but I get like frustrated with them. Like I won't ever say anything to them. I'll just go like I'll just do it myself. I'll just do it. I'll just do it, right?
Yeah.
Because then it's just like I'm just gonna waste time trying to explain it. But no, it's just. The end result is totally worth it. You know, the juice is worth the squeeze at the end of it. You know? Hey,
That's my saying.
Were you guys going to any other shows, like watching or helping to set out while you were training with Wrestle Center, or while you were doing the Wrestle Center backstage stuff?
Actually,
ISW, and I think that was really like the only Vision. Wow, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, Vision. We'd go. I don't know how many times we went to a Vision show.
There in St. John, New Brunswick?
Yeah, St. John and Freddie.
yeah.
And how many times we'd go just to help out.
Yeah.
And then there was.
But that's what you do, though. That's what nobody does.
No,
Nobody does.
No.
But that's what you do.
Like there was nothing for us, and then one day we were standing there, and at this time we were wrestling in Sabotage, but we weren't being used on Vision at all. And then somebody was booked.
They couldn't make it.
Yeah, whatever it was.
So there was a gap they needed to fill, and we were there just to help out. Like we were just ended up being there.
And Pettifer, all I hear is Pettifer out here out of earshot. He's like, "Well, sabotage it." And I was like, "What does that mean?" So he's like,
we're just like
not understanding. So we keep on, we keep on going on, and all of a sudden Dick calls us over, and he's like, "So," and we just got hauled into it, and then like there was a feud between Dick and Chip and Pipes versus us and Remy, and we got thrown right into that mix, and it was beautiful. Loved it.
Yeah,
Like
so
I think one of our first matches was against Dick and Chip,
and the lights went out.
and the lights went out.
We thought
So
they were messing with us.
we thought Dick, wanted an extra special entrance, but no, the lights fucking went out.
Yeah.
And I wish like a video camera could have picked it up better, but the fans had their cell phones out.
Everyone had their
Right?
had their.
So it was pretty cool, but like they came out and like we knew they were just gonna go at it. Like we knew it's Dick and Chip and they're just gonna figure it out. So the opening spot was double suey.
Yeah.
Lights are out, can't see shit. Fans are just getting their cell phones, and all of a sudden I just look at Connors and I look and I'm like, boom! And then we just go, and I loved it. Like I want to wrestle them more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Dick's one of those guys. I say it all the time that I wish he would have left. Never
Yes.
never came back.
Never came back. I totally
wish
understand.
I would have been watching him on television.
And because you would have.
A lot of people don't get that. They're like, why? Why do you hate Dick? I'm like, I love Dick. And
No, it's not. It reminded me of we were over at our buddy spot one time, and we were talking about because it was around the time we're feuding with them in Vision. So we're talking about so I'll punch Dick and then you take Chip and then then we'll flip and blah blah. And the guys are just looking at us like laughing, like crying, laughing. But then they stop and go, if we didn't know that you were wrestlers and you were talking about a person right now, this would be a very different context of a conversation. Yeah, well,
it's very true.
Very true, but
They're gonna flip the Dick.
I love Dick.
Just grab Dick from behind and.
So you guys never had anything substantial happen in Wrestle Center the time you were there. You had like a couple of one-off
I had
matches.
a couple one-off
You didn't do
matches.
anything except for backstage stuff.
Didn't do none.
So what did you guys think when Wrestle Center closed? Were you thinking
Yay.
like this is?
What's next?
Were you guys weren't upset? You guys like what were your guys' experience with Wrestle Center? I was there from the beginning. They treated me great. They paid me great. Never had an issue. I definitely see other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
But what?
They treated you great. Yeah.
What are your guys' situation with them? Like Brody Steele had a very bad. Has very bad things to say.
Yeah,
Like,
rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully
Yeah.
so.
No. Totally. But what were your guys'?
Mine were
time
pretty
to go?
like mild, honestly, because I was mostly at the sound table and like ring crew, so I didn't really like. And like Gary kind of drilled into us, like if you're not like in the ring, stay out of the locker room. So like I
Yeah.
hung out at
Yeah.
the sound table. So
The only time I was in
respected
the
that.
locker room was when I had to go grab something.
So all the politics, whatever was going on, I didn't really have any idea of all that, and thankfully so, because I didn't, I just don't like all that stuff. Like it's just too much politics.
But they
for
treated
such a
you
small-
like Jason and Tyler treated you good.
Yeah, for what they wanted out of me, I gave them what they needed, and and I was just fortunate to be a part of it all. So they treated me fine. Like I got along with them fairly decent. I thought so.
Good, yeah. Yeah, I did too. And what about you?
Like I was very fortunate because out of the class I was the only I guess responsible. I had a car, everything like that. So I was the one that was very fortunate to go pick up the fly-ins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all those people that were amazing to sit down and just.
Yeah.
If I just had them in my car for 20 minutes, I got to pick the brain. You know what I mean? So it was very cool to see them on that level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I took the longest route from the airport ever when I picked up Kurt Angle.
That's fair. That's fair.
He doesn't know where he's going.
No.
He's never going to sit in this car again. Like, 90 minutes later, we arrive at like he was so. If he would have just sat there and said he was so chatty, like asking stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm never going to get this opportunity again.
I got the one time that I kind of not freaked out, but normally I was privy to everything.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, they're like, oh, go pick up, at the airport. I was like, well, I need to know what the fuck I'm seeing, right?
Yeah.
They're like, no, you'll figure it out. Whatever, cool. So the most times they tell me
Wrestler, just a sign.
Yeah, basically.
Like-
So most times, of course, I'd see the person. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the one time they would not tell me.
Joe?
It was
Yeah.
Joe. So they're like, no, just go to the hotel. He's at the hotel right now. Go there. When he comes out of the elevator, you'll know. So I'm like, okay, whatever that means.
I'm going to know in 20 minutes. Why don't you just tell me?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, man, I need what if? What if there was someone else? You know what I mean? God forbid. So
What if Joe was here, a mistake? Like, what if Steve Austin walked in?
just what if? You know what I mean? He's here
Why
to
do they
shoot.
want Seth Rogen?
Yeah, something.
You're with me.
Yeah. So he walked out the elevator, and I just remember in my mind going, "Holy fuck! This is amazing."
Yeah.
So got him in the car, and I told him, I was like, "I might have to run red lights to get you there on time because Mosier made me leave late."
Yeah.
And he's like, "As long as I get there alive." I ran into 3 red lights, and he's like, "What are you fucking talking about?" That was cool. That's the It was really cool with that, and then they give us the platform to be able to be in front of the amount of people that was there. When I got the wrestlers,
Always do really well.
Yeah. Towards the end, it was bullshit, complete bullshit. Way too controlling, way too micromanaged, and
Tyler wasn't even there for the last show.
Well, he was there.
He was in the crowd.
Yeah,
I talked to him.
He called me. They fired me from Wrestle Center.
Were you at the last show? Either of you? The Tommy Dreamer and Matt Bullen?
No, fuck no.
Well,
Jeez,
you were
we're
gone
gonna
before that?
wait for that.
Okay.
They fired us. Well, me, sorry, because I was at a TCW show.
Oh, right.
Because I was out back. I was out fucking back. I was helping with the music and stuff like that. And I was just doing the running around for Cyril and the guys and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, I knew try to stay out back. Not that I was anything, but I didn't want.
I remember this now.
Right.
Mhm.
So then I was standing there, and Joey got hurt.
Yeah.
Joey got attacked. So they needed someone to go run out there.
Yeah.
And I remember Mike Hughes looked at me and was like, "Go get him."
Yeah.
Now, in that moment, am I going to stand there and go, Michael, Jason Mosier asked me to not be on the camera for TCW because he's got a thing going for me in Wrestle Center.
Because my camera.
Sorry, I can't do that.
Right?
No, I was just as soon as I hear Mike go out there, gone. I know what a hierarchy is. I understand what orders are.
Yeah.
So I took off. Went out, helped him, didn't think anything of it. I get a message 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
Are you at the TCW show? Yeah, I am. Why? blah blah blah, blah, and then they fired me because I was on camera.
New Scott video guy.
Yeah. Fucker.
I apologize.
So yeah, I got fired for that, and then I remember I was at work one day, and like, not to toot my horn, but my job is much more important. Whatever the fuck Tyler Burns is doing. So he took time out of my day while I was at work to try to like tell me to come back. Like he was like, "We'll bring you back." What was it? We'll bring you back to put like work an angle more with Bullen and like all this other shit. And I was just like, man, go fuck yourself. Like I really didn't care at that point because like IHW, like I would rather drive 2.5 hours and be appreciated because we were at the time when we were up for IHW, we were appreciated for all the work we put in. Yeah. But like Mosier was just starting to become like this micromanaged person that didn't understand the business and then tried to control it, and Tyler was just this middleman that tried to start shit between people, and I was like, I'm fucking done. Like I don't care anymore. So when they fired me, I was like, okay. Like I'm pretty sure I was like asking them not to, but I didn't care afterwards. Right. Like
I remember there was that, and I did a bunch of interviews with a bunch of the Wrestle Center guys that were helping out at that particular show. They all got in trouble for that, and then at the next UCW show, there was a picture with everybody in it, and Brett got fired from the picture.
Yeah. You remember that?
Oh yeah,
he's
in the back.
Shoulders.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh man, I remember.
We were at that last show.
We were at
with Tommy Dreamer because remember you unloaded the fire.
We were in the crowd.
Yeah.
At this point, so we went to 2 Wrestle Center shows in the crowd, and we didn't pay, so fuck you.
Oh, you guys were in the beer section.
Yeah, we're in the beer section.
When I did the thing with Dick and JP.
Yeah. So we were the night that there was 4 run-ins from the same area. All you guys were sitting together.
Sat next to each other.
Well, Brett forgot.
Yeah, Brett forgot it. That was the best. Mosier yelling at him, and like we didn't know that he was there for the spot, but watching wrestling, and we're like, okay, something's supposed to happen now. Like there's too much, everyone like Jordan and whatever, making sure that their back is to a certain area the entire time. Like someone's got to do a run in here. Here's Mosier walking into the crowd, yelling at Brett to go jump in the ring. So that was, but no, we were there for that, and then
Covey and Space Monkey.
Covey and Space Monkey was the reason we went for that.
It was so good, so good.
Yeah.
That was. I remember. I reffed Covey's first match, and I reffed that match. And I remember when. Yeah. Me and Covey talked about this. I talked about how. I was upset that they gave Space Monkey Covey because I was like, I told James, Tommy Starr told me, he's like, no, Covey's got some skills. I'm like, I reffed his first match. That dude's terrible. Terrible.
Which was first match?
Rodney.
Oh, well.
It was 3 minutes. And they blew 97 spots. And I remember afterwards, I went out back and I told Covey, we talked about this in the interview, and I'm like, I was wrong, James is right. I'm like, dude, you're super talented. This was like his 3rd or 4th match or whatever at this point, right? I'm like, yeah, I was wrong. It was your first match in like 10 years or however long it's been since he's been trained. I'm like, and you weren't working somebody that was like, that
knowledgeable,
good. But when he worked Space Monkey, I was like, son of a bitch. Right. I'm like, James is right. That guy is so good.
I think that was the match that really kind of like stuck out for me. That like
the
come to Jesus moment with Kobe. I was like, really? Yeah. Wow. Like I didn't really as I knew. Like you look at some people and you just you can see it, right?
Yeah.
But at that, like as soon as you wrestle Space Monkey,
when he came out, because like they he beat him up or whatever, and so it was like, oh, the match isn't gonna happen now.
Yeah. Because he came in the suit.
Yeah.
When he came out in the suit, I was like, oh, so how are they doing this? And then when he went to get in the ring, I seen it was different boots. I seen it was Kobe's boots. He didn't, but I was just like I'm like, dude, it's Kobe. And like I wasn't gonna yell at him because I didn't want to ruin it for the fans, right? Yeah. But in the video, when he takes the helmet off, you can hear me go, yeah.
All of us are
just free because it was awesome. It was wicked. Wicked match.
So when Wrestle Center closed, you didn't care because you were already gone at that point.
We were gone.
You were working for IHW.
Yeah.
Were you wrestling for IHW at that point? Because I remember there was a churro show, the first IHW churro show, the Frank Parker Memorial Show.
Yeah.
You guys were just there helping out, and somebody asked if you guys we're working tonight, and you're like, no, this is IHW. You have to earn that shit. That's a quote from you stuck out to me, and that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. So when did you start wrestling for IHW?
I don't think it was much long after that.
Yeah, it probably wasn't too much longer after that.
As a tag team or singles?
Yeah.
As a tag, because we had like that was
at that point we were not established, but people knew us as a tag team.
Yeah.
But like we.
In the New Brunswick area, because we were doing stuff with like again,
Vision,
we've had a
yeah.
couple masters in MSW.
In Vision.
We did that. When did we do the CAW stuff?
We only did one match up there.
Yeah.
But at that point we were with IHW anyways. So
oh yeah. That's right.
I can't remember what was their first match for IHW.
I don't know. I
have to go back and remember. We'll look that up. I can't remember.
I don't even know.
Yeah. Pretty sure it was like Julian under a mask and someone else to test us out.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So where did Sabotage come from? The name, the gimmick, the idea?
All him. And I mean, all seriousness. Because I wrestled as like Grayson King for like 2. I wrestled like that for 2 matches.
What's the name?
Grayson King.
Damn!
It's a badass name, bruh. And then I wrestled as Justin for a while. And we were up in ISW helping out all the time. So he would, you know, then it got to a point where I was like, all right, you're coming with me. You're going to come help out as well. So then we were up there all the time, and like people thought we were either brothers or cousins or something like that, because we're similar in what we do and how we act and shit like that. Then it just got to the point that people were going to ask, are we wrestling as tag team? So then I never thought about it. I love tag team wrestling, always have my entire life. But then we were sitting around one time and
I've always just had like that character thing, like from being a kid, like you draw this dude and he's all of a sudden this crazy superhero, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, like so after like I got older and started like getting into a little more, like it was around the Attitude Era. I had I don't know, it was just a name I had for a wrestler, and he was basically just like a Punisher type character, you know what I mean? Whatever, yeah. Hey. And it was just one of those little like character things. But I always thought like everyone kept throwing, oh, you need to be a tag team, you need to be a tag team. We really had nothing. It's like, what do you call a tag team that stands out? That's like that really could define us. Like it's such a hard thing. Well, for me, I don't know why it was. It was just hard. So I just threw out the name, and he was like, that's it.
Yeah.
I just said Sabotage. He's like, boom, that's it.
it's like, I know there's been
And I had
other
the song. I
wrestlers.
sent you the song, the Cancer Bats.
Yeah.
And it was just like, he was like, that has to be
Yeah,
that.
because like there's so many
Stuff.
people, so many of the vets that were telling us you got to use the original one because that's what everyone knows.
The Beastie Boys?
Yeah, I was like-
but someone else already used that here.
Someone did use it here at one point.
Scott Savage used it.
Yeah, and so I
I
didn't.
remember
I
they
didn't.
played it for you guys.
They played it in
walked by-
Kenville. Oh,
yeah, and I was like, that's Scott Savage's music.
And I walked in, I looked at the camera, I said, "This isn't our fucking music."
I know.
So, but yeah, he just presented that idea. And I was like, well, what do we, do with it? What do we wear? What do we? It took us a long time, like, to figure out who Sabotage was. I guess, like,
it's character development at that point. Like you can't, like you don't come out of the gate with like this whole like boom, like that's who you're gonna be. Like there's an evolution. So in the beginning we got those tights made. It was just like everything black,
all
just
black.
everything black, like black and white. It was very NWO.
Fuck off,
type
NWO. It was just stupid indie wrestling, all black. Like,
Come on, man! I was trying to sound cool. It was just generic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just generic. All we had was a name and the fact that we could make a show look and sound good.
And we started
We take direction.
as heels of the Vision, and then it got to the point that like the crowd knew us so well, and we're social people, so you can come up and talk to us at a show, and like they know like, we're friendly people outside of shows. But it got to the point that like the bookers were like, we have to turn you face because like people like you, and you're one of the only tag teams around, so let's capitalize on it. So they turned us face for a while, and it was okay. Like it wasn't, how you gonna get sympathy for 6'2" guys, all tattooed and but like we wanted to be heels, so I'm glad they turned us back. But
what do you guys think? Why did you start as a tag team together? Because there's a written or unwritten rule, depending on who you ask in wrestling, that you have to be a successful singles wrestler before you can understand how to work in a tag team. So
yeah, that's why we didn't think about it. Like, we were like, no, we'll you know, cut our teeth the right way, and then try to do something. Actually, tag team wrestling wasn't even a thought because it wasn't big around here. It wasn't. There was no tag team.
It's never been. There's been the Cardinal Sinners, but that's it.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, there's never been another faction or tag team that has lasted
it was
for any.
Just so many of the vets. Like it started with the fans, and then it was just so many of the vets were like, yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
It just makes sense to book you guys together.
Right.
Okay.
So when like.
So do you find it more difficult doing the tag matches because you don't have that experience?
Oh yeah, I had no, like, we were thrown in, there's like trial by fire.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, I understand, I watch wrestling all my life, and I understand the steps to the matches, but how to get to each one, and how to do that properly, and how to make it make sense, and then I might remember something, he might forget it, and then I get pissed off because he forgot it, because it was his spot, and it's like, no, you can't do that. Like, it's two separate people that have to come together, and it took us a while. Like,
it does. It's
as friends,
science.
we're the best fucking friends. Like, outside of the ring, like, we had chemistry in the ring, but you still never had like show chemistry.
Yeah. That takes time. Like, it's reps. You got to be in the ring with that person all the time. Like, that's why. I don't know. I think that's what attracted me to just like being that tag team, because if you have that chemistry as that tag team, like it's so much better than having just two random people put together. Because now you're just trying to take like, well, again, just two people and putting them together. Like, that's not a tag team. That's just a pairing of two people. Like, so everything we do like revolves around everything that we're gonna do in the ring. You know what I mean? So. Like when we're training at the ring, like our pacing is just our footsteps, our movements, our visuals.
There was a GIF put out of us when we did one of our moves, our tag team moves to Dynamite, and it's like the double hip toss into the powerbomb cutter. If you watch the video back, but in the GIF, we are perfectly mirrored. We've never tried it, but we're perfectly mirrored. There's a picture when Suave gives us this double stomp. We're perfectly mirrored. It's just a weird chemistry that like I've tagged with other people, and it's like I get how like it's not the same at all. But I wish that we learned more singles wrestling to understand just wrestling in general. But
well, it like throws me off because the few times that you actually do, I do get a singles match or he gets a singles match. Like, it's weird for me because I'm like. In my heat and my selling and stuff, I'm like bumping up, looking for a tag, right? I'm like, oh yeah, he's not there. This is weird. Yeah.
When did you guys start working for UCW? Was your first tour the Matt Hardy tour, or did you work before that? That would have been April 2016.
That would have been the first tour.
I think that was the first tour. I think that was like the first really time, because that was the one when it was like us, Boxcar Boys,
it was for like 14
Militia, okay. That was like our first, I'm pretty sure, tour, because we did a spot to debut, like when we beat up Cody Blade.
Oh yeah.
And then like it was him and Nathan Rage were in a match, and then like the match ended, or it was just about to end.
Was that the Losers League Towns match?
So then we came in and did that, and then I think the next time, because we had that, went out, worked MSW a couple times because they had a couple shows, and then by that time that tour happened, I think.
It was like a 4-day tour, I believe. PEI.
It was so good.
2 or 3 shows
That
over here.
That was a good tour.
That was back when Devin was booking UCW.
Yeah.
How did you guys get booked on that tour?
Devin, so I messaged Devin. I didn't want to, but I was told, message him to get on the tour, get on the show and stuff like that. So I messaged him, sat down with him at a Tim Hortons and pitched the idea of me and Connors. And then
he was pretty excited about it.
He was pretty excited about it, but right away, as soon as like the idea was presented and he's seen that like, okay, there's no other tag team wrestling going on, so they'll get attention no matter what. We did what he did, and then he came out and like was going to start like the Cullen's
Kindred
or some shit like that, without even like talking to us about it. And it's like, okay, well we're in it now. Yeah, we're in the
brood.
Yeah. So then when
Where's the fire circle?
So then when they had the tour, we were booked on it, and it's whatever, and then that after that tour, Swap took over.
But there was a show in Halifax. I've heard Devin's side of this. Devin was booking the show where you guys thought you were going to win the tag titles on the show in Halifax. You didn't. It went to Jake and Tim.
Yeah, Jake. It was the Metal Militia.
Yeah.
Tim, I fucking love Tim, by the way.
Well, yeah, he's a good dude. What are your memories of that? What's your version of the story? Do you know his version of the story? Or the version he told me version?
Oh, that's fine. Tell the version. We're going to pause for a second, though. So, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we're back. You guys, we were about to talk about the titles, the tag titles, UCW tour last night in Halifax.
So, so that was the Matt Hardy tour. And started off PI.
Was that the first time you were on a show with a name like Hardy?
Yeah.
Before you get to that, what are your memories of someone you watched on TV for the first time, seeing them in person wrestling?
Well, I got to see like Christopher Daniels and Joe and all those guys
That's true.
with Wrestle Center. So at that point, it was still fucking awesome because it's Matt Hardy, and of course I grew up loving the Hardy Boys.
But you weren't really touring with those guys.
No, exactly. I wasn't touring with those guys, but being around them and stuff, it was awesome. I remember right before he was going out for his match. It was against Swab, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right before he was going out, him and Rumble were standing there. They were, get down. Okay.
He's excited. I'm good. I am.
I said Rumble, and all of a sudden,
couldn't happen to anybody.
So it was, they were just standing there, and they said something to each other, and I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. So they said something in Kearney, but I had no idea what they were talking about. So then like Rumble looked at me and he said, you don't know this? Gary never taught you it? I was like, no, not really. And then Matt Hardy was like, these fucking new kids. Like, he just walked out.
Yeah.
No, it was really cool being around him and seeing like the level of like switch it on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just
barely move throughout the day. I don't mean that in a bad way, but he's just banged up from years of wrestling.
Yeah, like now he's in much better shape.
Yeah.
It's just like at that point it was like right before he did like the broken gimmick.
Yeah. And his hair was dyed. He was just
about to do it.
Everybody was asking him at the autograph signings, "Why is your strip line?" He's like, "You get TNA? Watch it next week."
Yeah, it was right before.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But yeah, he would, you'd see him, moseying throughout the day. But as soon as that music hit,
it came
that was
alive.
it.
Yeah.
It was just like, damn.
So the titles.
So it's like I forgot all about that because it's not even a big deal to me. We throughout the tour, at the beginning of the tour, Devin's like, all right, we're gonna put the titles on you at the end of the tour. Okay, fine. Like I do not give a fuck about titles in the sense of like I need it to feel special or anything like that. I really don't.
I'm not there for them.
No.
You don't wear them around everywhere you go all the time?
All the time, really.
Bring it to the gym with you.
Yeah. We've been asked to, and we're like, no, we're not. Because like some of the people there we know for sure.
Both of them.
We make statuses about wanting pyro at the gym and everything, so.
I do.
So we're told from the beginning, okay, yeah, this is what we want to do. We're going to put them on you because then we want to go for a run with it. You guys are heels, and then we'll just build up the tag team division. Cool. That's what I wanted, was the responsibility of building up a tag team division. I wanted that responsibility. Halfway through the tour, Chittick and Rumble and them were going to like a party or a hotel or whatever it was. Like they were going to what you do after a wrestling show.
Yeah.
I remember saying like no because I needed to like, I don't know, like I just didn't want to go hang out at that time with them because there were some people there I didn't want to be around. And then we ended up hanging out with Marcus that night.
Yeah.
And Devin just like through the networks of fucking politicking at parties and stuff like that, he got in Rumble's ear and then put Jake and Tim to take the titles. Okay, cool, like whatever. But we weren't told until like 2 hours before the show. That's what I was pissed off at, was the very unprofessionalism of it all. I know shit changes in wrestling all the fucking time, but they had this scoped out for about a day without telling anybody, and at the last minute was like, because I remember showing up, they helped obviously set up and everything like that, and Jake's walking by like, oh, they're putting the belts on us. I was like, okay, one, I'm not believing this motherfucker. So then it just, the whole situation pissed me off. It wasn't the fact that, oh, we didn't get the titles. Once again, don't give a fuck. It was the fact of the whole unprofessionalism.
It just felt like such schoolyard, like.
And I get it. Like, this is the world. Really? This is wrestling. Shit like this is gonna happen all the fucking time. It was my first experience of dealing with that bullshit, and that's why I was so angry, because they're like, "No, we're putting them on you. We want to build you guys up," and like this. I can't remember what it was.
It made sense from my perspective watching it. I assumed that's what was going to happen as a fan.
That's what everybody was expecting.
And then they were eliminated like first out of the.
Yeah, and we were purposely eliminated first. And that's, as soon as it happened, everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. It's like, and when I went backstage and I kicked the fucking table, not because I wanted a shiny little piece of fucking metal. It's because I had to deal with this idiot of a fucking guy that I cannot stand. And that is a poison. I just couldn't fucking deal with it anymore, and I just let my emotions show. So that's what that was about. There was no, I don't know what his side of the story is, because I never watched the shit, and like, you can tell me what it is right now.
He told me that I originally heard the same story you just told me about the party and everything. And that's what I said to him.
Right.
And he said he remembers all of that, but that it wasn't his decision, that Chuck made the decision to put the belts on the other guy. I think it was Chuck. It might not have been Chuck, it was someone else. Not Rumble either. It was someone else's
No, so it was
Chittick.
No,
I'm pretty sure he said Chuck.
Yeah, Chittick got in Chuck's ear.
But it was his doing that, not want to put the belts on you because you guys had an attitude or something along those lines.
That's complete bullshit. Because I remember Chuck telling me on that fucking tour. Chuck, the first day, we're up in PEI.
Hold up, I gotta change the battery. So, there we go. So, I just had to change the battery there. So we're talking about the titles coming off you guys, that you guys didn't get them because you guys had an attitude problem.
There you go. So, that's complete fucking bullshit, because the first day, we drove up early, of course, got the PEI, my first time on the island, got the PEI, we got to the venue, it was myself and Connors, and I think there was 2 other people that was there with us, and I cannot remember who it was. We were the first ones there. We had the ring 3/4 set up before Devin and them showed up, because they were at a cottage down the fucking road. So the whole time, Chuck is pissed, because like, the vets aren't there and everything like that, and the ones that were down the street in a different community at a cottage posting pictures of them having fun. So we were there setting up. Chuck didn't really know us at the time, but I can verbatim, he said it, and I was on the ring taping up a pad. He was like right on the edge of the ring, and Chuck said, "I don't care, I'm booking these 2 every show from now on, no matter what." That's what he said to us, and that's what he said right in front of Chittick and Rumble and Tim and all. What's up, buddy? And Tim and all the guys. Like, I remember him saying that specifically, that he appreciated our workhorse ethic. And you said it yourself at the beginning, towards the beginning of the interview, that we bust our ass all the time. So it's like, that's not a stretch. You know what I mean? So he said that he was booking us no matter what, and he wanted the titles on us. So why would Chuck change his mind because we have an attitude problem? Because we never had, our attitudes did not change for those 4 days. It was when 2 hours before the show, they switched the script because Chittick doesn't like us.
Parents subject to change.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, and like I said, I don't give a shit, but know your fucking facts and like tell the truth.
And it's like such a childish like little fib, you know what I mean? It's like, why? Just
like, I don't get it. Either way, it's irrelevant.
Like, I remember we lost the titles. Actually, we got them the first time. We lost them on my birthday. And like, I didn't care. Like,
It's not
really
about
didn't
the
care.
titles.
But I got a message from one of my buddies being like, "Oh, great, happy birthday." I was like, "What does that have to do with wrestling? Like, that's not a part of the storyline. You know what I mean? Like, it just so happens to be on my birthday.
Yeah.
Do you think I didn't get high as shit afterwards and have a couple beer?
Yeah.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Like,
So were you guys close with Suave, Marcus Burke, at this point?
At the
Have you
time.
like known him well for a while yet?
Yeah,
or-
through IHW and stuff like
we
that.
knew
It's-
him. Like,
yeah.
we got to hang around a couple times, stuff like that. And, he, it wasn't like a sit down and chat. It was like, hey, how you doing? How's everything in passing?
I
type
think it was
thing.
after the Matt Hardy tour that's
Yeah, it was after the Matt Hardy
relationship
tour
with
when
him
our
really
relationship-
kinda sparked.
So the next UCW tour was that July or August that summer, and it had Rikishi on it.
Yeah.
And then that's when Eric started taking over, had a lot more say in it.
Yeah.
Devin was still on the shows,
Yeah.
but Eric was more in charge at this point. Eric was in charge because Eric brought in all those guys that he knew from the States and stuff, and took the belts off Rumble.
What's his name was
Dylan?
Dylan Bostic.
Sick, yeah.
And Ray.
And Ray.
He took the belt off Rumble on the first night, I think.
Yep.
And Julian took the belt off Devin in Halifax, I believe, a few days later.
Yep.
What did you think when you heard that Marcus Burke was going to be taking over UCW? Now, he hadn't done anything like this at this point in time. This was his first time really doing something like this, at this level anyway.
I don't know if he'll admit it, but I was like the one who pushed him to go do it.
Yeah.
Because I told him, like, Chittick bragged one night about making a bunch of money for booking. Like, I didn't think anything of it. And then I was talking to Marcus one morning about, well, like, I asked him, why does Chittick get paid so much for this? He said, what do you mean? 30 minutes later, he's like, guess who the new booker is? Perfect. I was ecstatic.
Yeah.
I knew, I didn't, well, I kind of, I guess, knew that he didn't really do it before.
Yeah.
I felt, I was excited.
But I wasn't nervous about it.
No, I was excited about what was about to come because, I mean, like, I had, like, just from watching Marcus and like, what he does in the ring and, like, I just knew that he would apply that to what he was, to the position that he was about to take. You know what I mean? So
and it might have
I felt
taken a
relief.
little while to get it off the road for him, or get it off the.
It's a
off the
learning
step
process,
for him,
you
and
know?
like that. But right away, I knew that we were in better hands.
Yeah.
Not us, but the company was in
itself.
better hands, and that's what like the big concern is like you can have, two people booked like crazy good, but if like the rest of the roster isn't taken care of and thought about, then what's the point?
Were there any big differences between how that tour was run and the first UCW tour you did?
No, because we were basically in charge.
Yeah.
Not of the booking or anything like that, but it was like ring crew was like, okay, well, you guys go do what you normally do. So as for that, no, I never noticed.
Our responsibilities.
Yeah, nothing
didn't
changed for us, so it was like, okay, cool.
Just,
I just messaged Suave now instead of shit. Like that was so.
At this point, you got Eric as well was still working for IHW and everyone else, and you guys were still working IHW.
Yep.
Was there any problems going back and forth between working for Chuck and working for
Not for us.
was running IHW?
Not for us.
No?
I don't know if there was anything for anyone else. We didn't have. There was no.
it was not even like talked about really. Not,
Yeah,
not that I know of. Like,
Yeah, and like when we got let go, unbooked from IHW at one point, and it's at the point when he was injured. So I was doing a couple singles matches for them and stuff like that, like the Mega Pass stuff. And we got let go because of personal issues between Kevin and Suave.
Yeah.
He'll never admit that. But
Kevin?
he'll never fucking admit it, but I know for a
He's
fact.
got his own problems.
Yeah, that's fine. But I like, and he's like, yeah, we're not going to bring you in for a bit, everything like that. I'm like, dude, I've made your show look 10 times better because of like the work we put in for you. Like, not our work in the ring, but our work outside of the ring.
Right.
We rebuilt those ropes. We came up for a weekend and rebuilt those ropes, put new stuff in it, made it better, made it tighter, made it safer, everything. Like, we put so much work into that show. And then he's just like, yeah, because now he's got his ring crew that's up there, his students up there. It's fine. It makes sense financially. But, like, why the fuck are you unbooking us? Because
What
of
was
personal.
the reason he gave you?
I can't remember. It just went out of my head as fast as it went in.
Yeah, it was. I messaged him and I was like, oh yeah, so because he booked me to win the gauntlet match on the last show of the year. So I was talking to him. I was like, so what's the plan for the new year? What kind of promos do you want me to shoot? What kind of angles do you want me to go with? He's like, oh well, we're gonna take a break on bringing you up for a bit. I was like, how does that make sense? Yeah. Why? What reason? And he's like, oh well, we're just gonna take a break for a bit, and then when we bring you back, it'll be even better pop. I was like, none of this makes sense to me.
But that comeback.
Yeah, I was like, but why am there's no reason for you. But this was all around the time that and other people have said it, that we were Suave's lackeys, and shit like that.
Burke's bitches.
Yeah, Burke's bitches. So it was around that time that you were getting booked up in NSPW because of them and stuff like that. And I understand that, but because we're working for other companies and because you now have a personal vendetta against our booker for another company, you're gonna unbook us. Cool, man. It was. I didn't lose sleep over it, so fuck it. I didn't care.
So when did you find out we're coming around to the big anniversary show for UCW?
The Ryback.
10th or 11th?
That was the Ryback one. Was the 11th.
The 11th. You guys found out you were going to be getting the tag titles for the first time in a TLC match. Yeah. What are your memories of that?
That the belts were not hanging.
Yeah. So we set up the entire show. We built the stage, everything like that. That stage was finished being built as fans were coming in for the VIP. Yeah. It was by the hair. But the match itself, I loved it. Yeah. Absolutely loved the match. Yeah. I had
for what it was.
Yeah, for what it was, but
I had fun. It told a great story for what we were doing up
towards the end. It got fucked up.
Whatever. I fixed it.
I know you did. I know you did. Thank you.
Someone said, I can't remember what show I was at. That everyone was talking about how great the ladder match was. I'm like, yeah, just because they were talking about BJ, and they were like, yeah, he fucked that match up so bad, and they were like, what are you talking about? The match is great. I'm like, I know, I took it all out.
So yeah, God love BJ, but it was his first match. They put him in, and I was too.
I don't think anyone really smartened him up about what he was about to get involved in.
So when I told him there's a spot the end spot where Joey was supposed to drag Emily by the hair and stuff, and that got delayed forever. Yeah. But as that was going on, I noticed the table was right in my point of view, my path. So I just hey BJ, move that a little bit. He takes the whole thing and just moves it. Yeah. So as I'm getting up there, realizing I didn't put it back in position, BJ's putting it back in position. So I was like, oh fuck sakes. I remember the ending got completely.
I was laying there the whole time, just looking at the whole thing, fuck.
I remember the ending got fucked up. The table didn't break, and wrestling, due to wrestling, the fucking rope was jiggling on me and everything like that. It was just the worst of every part came together, and I was just all right, cool, whatever, we'll make the best of it. And then the pin didn't happen properly, shit like that, right? So I love the match though, and in all honesty, I loved it. I had a great time, and
it's in front of a huge crowd, man.
Yeah, I liked working. At that time, I liked working Greaser and Ryan because we at that point we worked them a few times, so there was the chemistry and the fact of I'm gonna hit you with this chair. But yeah, I liked it.
No, there was a lot of level of trust in that match that was really cool to have with, especially we were so new to it all. That was a big profile match to have. It's such a.
You were co-main on that show?
Yeah,
there was 1,200 people there.
Yeah. So I mean, to be not even a year into wrestling, to be wrestling in front of almost 1,300 people in a TLC match was pretty sweet. Yeah, I had fun.
That table not breaking thing is like a joke over the years that you can't break a table at the Forum. But
now that's on.
Yeah.
It's on. That's gonna change.
One show, Steen went off the top rope and to the floor. It was supposed to go through a table. He hit the table, and the table moved. It skidded out of the way, so he had smacked to the floor.
Fuck.
And then the next show, Mike Irish whipped Duke, two huge dudes, into this table. The table bent and shot Duke back up the other side. It was like, what the fuck was that? But yeah, the tabletop breaker, it's on YouTube. It's so weird to see.
Well,
That's
then
crazy.
the one at in War Games, you didn't break.
Oh yeah. That wasn't the form though. That was Spryfield. That was Spryfield.
Yeah.
That sucked.
But yeah, it happened a bunch of times over the years there. It's so weird because now every time there's a table spot at the farm, I'm like, is it going to break? Is it going to break? So what did you guys think of now you were actually going to get the tag titles? You were going to be like the face of the tag division in UCW?
I think I was excited at that point just because we were like an established team at that point, and I just felt like, okay, this is kind of where Suave had just taken over. I felt like he was putting like a certain level of trust in us to kind of to like push us to try harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wanted us to do some different things outside of our
time
show.
to start trying harder.
Yeah, it did.
No, we when he told us, he said it was, I'm giving you this because I'm giving you a responsibility.
Yep.
I'm not giving you titles to give you just titles. He's like, he's like, you're the only dedicated tag team. Like we're the only two in the Maritimes that want to be a tag team. We're the only ones. And he's like, I'm trusting you to build this.
Yeah.
And we tried our damnedest.
Yeah, I mean, people say a lot of stuff about him, both good and bad, but he did take those shows from, I've been to those shows, they're drawing 25, 30 people to almost 1,300 in less than a year.
Yep.
Or almost exactly
Pretty much a year.
Yeah. And you can't say that it didn't work at that time, for sure. So you guys won the titles, and did you lose them the very next show? Or was it 2 shows later? Because I remember, was it 2 shows? 1 show? You lost them to Kicking and Stomping?
I thought it was the next tour.
Was it the next tour?
It could have been the next tour, because
You didn't have them very long.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
But I thought
I can't remember, because the
arena
next show would have been a rematch of JP and Eric. I don't remember. Eric won that match. I don't remember who you guys worked, so that's why I can't remember if it was that show or the next one.
I can't remember now either.
I think we worked Dark Side that night. Did we not? And then the next night we had the triple threat against Kicking and Stomping and Dark Side Express.
No, because I think that was Ryan Spades' last match until like a year and a half later.
It was.
That TLC.
Yeah. I cannot remember now. I thought it was like a month later.
Yeah,
It could've been
that's
the
what
next-
I meant, like a month later. Like,
Oh, I thought you meant like the next show, like the next night.
no,
Yeah, because
not
that was the
next
last
day.
night, right?
Yeah, it was like the next show was like.
Yeah,
a month
sorry,
later.
yeah, it was,
Yeah.
it was, it was, and it was against Kicking and Stomping.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was it Spryfield?
It was.
Yeah, it was in the arena part. I
Yeah.
think.
No, it was
It was in the back room.
Was it?
Yeah, it was in the back room. It was the job
the bone.
Yeah, okay, I remember it now. Yeah.
Why did you like? I was surprised they were taking off. They were taking them off you so fast because they built you guys up so big. You guys
Yeah.
won the titles, and then a month later, they're gone. Like, what did you guys think? Did you think, oh, we did something wrong, or did you think they're going somewhere else with this?
They it was a smarter move to book Kicking and Stomping as tag team champions. They're an established tag team, and they got
Not
it.
here, they're not though.
Not here, but they're an established tag team in the sense that they know what the fuck they're doing
Oh,
together.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
But I think that gave us the sympathy of wanting the fans
'Cause you guys are
to get
baby
us to
faces.
get them.
yeah, because you always want the chase,
So
right?
they
Yeah.
wanted us to get
Yeah.
them back. So I think that's what his point was there.
That's what it was.
That would-
And like it was just it made sense. Yeah, they're not from here, but it made sense to put it on them because it elevated our work.
Yeah, and it'll make people pay attention to who they are when they have the belts.
Yeah.
They're so good too.
So what are some of your memories of working through? Well, no, before that. Sorry, the Wrestle Nova Scotia tour. The first one was in between. Was like in May or June of 2017. You guys didn't do the first show. I think you guys were in Cape Breton for ACWA.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
We'll get the ACWA. But what are your memories of working that first Wrestle Nova Scotia show? That ended up being the only one of that first tour. The first show I reffed had like 5 people on. We had 4 matches, 5 guys.
Yeah.
Andre worked 3 times out of 4 matches. The answer.
God.
Yeah, Eric worked Chip. The ring was terrible.
Yep.
It was so hard. The posts were like broomsticks that were like bent inwards. But the next night they got the Vision Pro ring, so the ring was good for the next night.
Yeah.
First show at 5 Guys, the next show at 18, or something like that. What are your memories of that? You guys worked a tag match against the Answer and Covey, I think.
Yeah.
I ref
that was.
I ref that too.
You're good. Yeah, no, I loved it, obviously, because I loved working with Kobe, and I think it was one of our first times getting to work with Andre.
Yeah,
so that was cool. It was a shit show.
Yeah.
It was, like, the whole, like, the...
Wrestling Nova Scotia usually is.
Well, I remember...
Did you guys do the second tour or just the first one?
We did the second one.
Did the second? Okay.
Yeah, we did this.
We'll get there too.
Yeah, we did the second
That's
one.
like a year away.
We did yeah, I just remember getting there and like there was no authority. Like there was no like.
It was a free for all.
It was a free for all.
Troy ended up booking it, I believe.
Oh, as for booking, I don't know yet about that.
No,
but, like,
I was just saying because there's nothing done ahead.
Yeah, and then like there was, yeah, it was you know, and then I remember Mike telling Doug, like, don't book me tomorrow. You're gonna lose more money.
Yeah.
Like I'll go home, type thing. When the fuck do you hear that? You know what I mean? Not if just from Mike, but for anybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember it was like we had fun, but it was,
I'll go home.
That ended up being the only show.
Yeah.
Or no, the 2 shows. There was like maybe 2 more.
There was 2 more booked
Yeah, there
afterwards.
was Mahone Bay and Windsor, and those were the only 2 that happened.
Yeah, and
but
then
the only one happened with the full roster.
Yeah.
So throughout 2017, there was a lot of big shows. Alberto Del Rio was here.
Yeah.
What are your memories of, like, Paige came with them? So
That was such a blur.
Silas Young was here.
That was cool.
What are your memories of working as a tag team throughout that year? UCW kept growing, getting bigger and bigger, running more shows.
That's what I remember the most. Is every time it was, oh, we have more people. Oh, we have more people. Or, oh, the crowd's hotter. The crowd's this. Like
Bigger setup, like
bigger
and like
sound,
different bookings.
We weren't taking it as seriously at that time, in the sense of like not hitting the gym, not studying, we were just being the workhorses, and like that's our thing, you know. That's what we focused on. And I remember
I'm still coming off an injury.
Yeah, and he was still coming off his injury, and I just remember at one point like going, fuck, like we got to step this up, because we're a tag team and we're in the only tag team matches, but we need to step this up because like the matches that Marcus was putting off and the matches that everyone else was putting off, coming in with people,
Ours were suffering.
Yeah.
Like bad.
So that's what I was going to ask. Did you think you were up to par with,
No.
like, no?
No.
by no means whatsoever.
And I feel bad for that, because he still kept putting that responsibility on us, and we were just like.
And it wasn't like we were shitting the bed, or we were like, it wasn't like we were fucking up at night after parties and like stuff like that. We just were not trying, like straight up.
Were you dating Emily when she went through the table?
Yeah.
Yeah. That happened before the TLC match. What are your memories of when that was pitched to her, that Greaser and Spades were going to put her through a table? From the top rope. Not just the table, but a powerbomb from the top rope.
Yeah.
Your idea?
No, it wasn't my idea.
She yelled at me one time.
Yeah.
Put her through a table.
That one time.
No, it was so Suave. Marcus like pitched it, and he was like, we need to build this to have more hatred. We need to get more sympathy for you guys, and we need to make these guys look bad. So he pitched it. He pitched a couple of ideas. I think it was like either a chair shot or going through the table. And like, of course, I looked at her. I said, "This is you. If you want to do this, you can do this." But I was like, I did not pitch this to Suave. This wasn't my idea. She's like, no. He messaged me and asked. So I was like, okay. So if you say no, I will not feel bad about this. I will not be angry about this, and I will not use this in any argument going forward. She just jumped right for it. She's like, okay.
Yeah.
She just went for it. I was, all right, cool. Like, you understand that if you say no, even afterwards, or right before the match, we can work something else out.
Yeah.
She's like, no. All right, well, props to you then. She's like, my dad. And then she told me like stories.
I'm waiting for her to cut herself one of these days. Blade, not actually.
No,
waiting for her to look up and her face be covered in blood. Because that was what her dad was known for.
Yeah, I think we're
Just
gonna
throw that out there.
Try to delay that a little bit. Yeah.
No way, man. Every show, I'm like, do it.
Do it.
So the end of 2017 comes. Eric wrestles for IHW for the last time.
Yeah.
He wrestles a cage match against Titus.
Yeah.
Were you guys up there for that?
Yep.
Yeah. What was that like, knowing that he wasn't going to be wrestling for IHW anymore? And was there anything said to you at that point about not working for IHW?
Nope.
Because were you back there yet at all, or were you still fired?
Like IHW?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we're there.
You were back there.
Yeah, no. This was before. This was right before. So,
okay.
This personal shit I was talking about
Happened after Eric left.
was because Eric left.
Okay.
And where they were going.
Okay.
The whole reason that Eric, as he told us, he left was because he was pitching all these ideas to IHW.
Yeah. And
they were taking none of them.
Yeah.
And then like months down the road, they would do it and take credit for it.
Right.
And he's just like, fuck this. Like, why wouldn't I do it where I can do it when I want?
Yep.
So I remember him telling us. Actually, told like it was the roster.
Yeah.
It was like, did he tell the roster?
He told them in
That was
January.
Pete. That was Pete.
Yeah.
Pete said when he was done wrestling in the Maritimes, when he took a break for a bit.
Yeah.
He told the roster in the back. No, Marcus said it in the ring, and I'm pretty sure he told us like the day of, before the show happened. It's like, I'm done. Like, this is it. I'm done. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're still gonna wrestle here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. And like that was still the plan, was because that night was when I won the gauntlet match, and then we set up the cage and everything like that. So yeah.
And at that point, he hadn't yet told anybody of his plan to start running New Brunswick, Moncton in particular. So what were your thoughts when he just said, I'm going to start running Moncton now, like after it was public?
I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, once again, it's like, I just want to wrestle.
Yeah.
Like, I understand parts of the reasons why doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's his prerogative. That's what he wants to do.
Yep.
I just want a place to wrestle.
Yep.
I just want a ring to wrestle in.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like, at this point, I really didn't care because IHW let us go for no just reason, like no just cause. And then right then was when Kevin left. So then, well, yeah.
Here you go.
And then at that point, when everyone else took over, it was at the point then, like, I don't know why they didn't, like, maybe I should have reached out to Julian again and been like, hey, can we get back on the shows? Never did, just because, like, UCW has given us the chances and has letting us fail and picked us back up and guided us on what to do. So, yeah, cool. I'll wrestle wherever you guys go.
Julian didn't come back to Halifax after that show, but Titus did. Titus wrestled up until April. What did you think of the first time doing shows with UCW without Julian? He's another guy that does a lot of work, books a lot, really smart, intelligent guy.
I felt things starting to get thin, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the people that were around started to kind of disappear and you not see them anymore, and that kind of sucks, man, because it's your family. You don't get to see them as much as you'd like to, anyways. Yeah. So that time in the locker room and like out in the ring, like we tend to value that, hold that up quite high. So when they start to like disappear from the locker room and stuff, it gets, I don't know, it sucks, man. Like you want to see your family.
And it just felt weird because like at some points it was Julian booking some of the shows because like Marcus
wasn't there. He was down in the States at an tryout or something. Yeah.
So like Julian was booking the shows and like it didn't, like it felt just like when Marcus was, but then when Julian left, it was, it sucked. That's the best way to put it.
Like disappeared.
I miss him.
Yeah.
What?
I know, eh?
He'll always Julian always hit you. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss him.
Yeah, I definitely miss him too, man. Yeah. I've known him forever. I haven't seen him in years now because I haven't got to New Brunswick for a show. Yeah. We used to hang out all the time when he came down here, but I haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
Same with Titus. Now the next show, or not the next show, but the next big show was the 11th anniversary of UCW. What did you think when current WWE UK champion, current back then and current now, Pete Dunne, was coming in with Tyler Bates?
It was cool. Like in all seriousness, like those guys.
Because as far as I can remember, that is the first time ever a contracted WWE wrestler appeared on a show here.
Yeah.
And definitely the first time one came with a belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. We got to pick them up from the airport in Moncton, and they got there like their flight got delayed in Toronto, and like Swab had to rebook shit.
Pete's
and,
like luggage got
Pete's
destroyed.
luggage, Pete's fucking his thing, and it's like one of those like crazy sturdy,
hard shell ones?
hard shell steel ones.
The whole
Busted.
corner was just
So he was
destroyed.
pissed. So we get in the car, and like I'm rushing them to the car, boom, get them in.
I didn't know any of this prior to them getting like I had.
But
no
he makes
clue.
the
They're like,
cardinal
dude,
mistake of being a fucking moron.
Yeah.
So as soon as we get in, we start driving away. He goes, "So how's the trip, guys?"
It's really something you would ask.
Right.
But he knew the flights
But
were
they get in
delayed.
the back seat, like all their luggage couldn't fit in my trunk.
So he's
like,
got like one on their lap and stuff like that.
and I say it, and he's like, "Dude, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, I looked over and I was like, "Shut the fuck up!
I
Don't
look,
ask the
I look in the
question."
rear view, and they're both just out the window. Like,
So it was a shit travel day for them. But as soon as they got there, once again switched on. Like it's just one of those things.
Yeah, they got there really late for the first show, right?
Yeah, really late.
Well, we made sure they were taken care of as much as we could.
Yeah.
I mean, like whatever they needed when they got there.
The best was for the big anniversary show when they faced each other. Right there's the two walkways. There's the screen.
Yep.
There's a black curtain that goes underneath the screen.
Yep.
I don't know if you can see it or not during the entrances, whatever. It's taped up.
We sat right
We
there.
sat right there
Oh,
to
right
watch.
under the
Yeah.
screen, yeah.
So like we're right there watching,
Yeah, that's cool.
and like it was cool seeing Emily in there too.
Yeah.
Like, she was nervous as fuck, but I was like, Emily, these are professionals.
Yeah.
These
As
are
good as you're gonna get.
This is
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it is. This is these two are as
Absolutely.
good as you're gonna get,
Yeah.
and they've done this 1,000 times.
Yeah.
They're just gonna put you in the spots they need you, and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So
And I remember her coming back and just like,
And watching those guys, like I've saw them wrestle before, like, but seeing them as close as I did, the stuff that they do is so spot on. Like his pump handle tombstone or whatever the hell it is, they don't even no pause, no nothing.
No, just go.
just complete trust. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna go on your head. Unreal, like that
It's-
level of talent.
yeah.
Emily crushed it in
killed
that
it,
match. Crushed it.
killed it.
Yeah.
The only thing that she wishes, and I wish too, was when Pete, and you hear it in the video, when
Yeah.
Pete tells her to bite him.
What?
She's like, what? So she kind of froze, not froze.
Right.
She was still playing the part, but she was just like, is he really fucking telling me to do this?
Did I just
And she's
hear
like,
that?
I was like, I wish you did it just longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, oh man, there's points in that match that like I've never reffed.
Yeah.
So I know it's hard because
Oh,
like
yeah.
I've done it in practice matches and
Yeah.
stuff like that. My fuck, like
Yeah.
she killed it. So proud of her.
You guys wrestled in War Games. In
Man.
that they originally announced the War Games match like the previous November or something.
Yeah.
The roster changed 100%
Yep.
of people that were announced and the people that were in it.
Yep.
What did you think of the roster that was announced, and then when people kept dropping out, and then the roster that ended up having the match, and the War Games concept in general that was going to happen? And go.
I was happy. I was happy that it got switched up. Not that we got put into it, but the storyline it just made more. It made more sense
Garbage.
for the black.
Oh.
Um,
I'm sure if that was recyclable.
no, I'll probably get the thing locked because of cats. They. I liked it better because now it's Maritimes of Quebec, right? Now it's tag teams and tag teams going against each other, and like it made sense.
that was cool. The fact that it was a VIP thing.
Didn't make sense at all.
Did not make
And like Pete Dunne even on his story on Instagram, he's like War Games match during the VIP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
laughing at it. I was like, yeah.
Really limited with what you guys. I mean, I don't agree with the way that was booked. At all, not what you guys did,
Yeah.
but the fact that you guys couldn't go out there and do absolutely everything that you wanted to do. People, my opinion is, people pay more to see that match than they pay to see Tyler Pete Dunne and
Yeah,
I
Tyler
don't know about
Bate.
that.
No, they paid more. Because the VIP is more than the regular show.
Oh,
They get it early.
okay, sorry, yes,
so
sorry.
why
Yeah,
not
they
give them
literally
that?
paid
People
more.
don't want it booked because it says it kills the rest of your show, right? If you
Yeah.
guys don't want it to bleed or big spots and stuff, it kills
Yeah.
the rest of your show.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that at all. I agree with they paid to see you. I
We
get
were
it, but I don't agree with it.
We
That's
weren't
just one of
really
the
told
things.
not to do certain things.
No.
That I remember. Like, I don't But you know, if you remember, like,
I do.
Okay, no, if you remember, because I don't, I remember like, okay, yeah, don't do certain like big spots, which okay, but I don't remember like having like a huge rain on us.
No, there wasn't, but there were certain things people wanted to do in that match, and they were told no because it was VIP.
Yeah.
But it's good that you guys didn't feel that, so you guys got to do whatever it is you wanted to do. But my perspective is they pay more for the VIP than they do the regular show.
I agree.
Yeah.
We never really got to book much in that match.
Yeah.
We were just told what to do, so it was fine. Like,
Okay.
At that point, it was like, okay, I'm like, yeah, okay. We booked the ending where we like got to eliminate, like where we walked out type thing. Like that was our idea. But as for the match itself, I hate the fact that we're trusted so much to do these things for the shows, but then when something big like this comes along, we're not asked at all about anything. It's like the cage got there, it's too short. It's on the floor.
Yeah.
It still had the Eastern fences.
It still had the Eastern fence signs on it.
To be fair, we took those off. They made us put them back on.
Yeah.
No. I fucking took them off without asking anybody because there was zap straps there. And I was like,
they were jagged like from
I know.
So I remember cutting them off. And then Chuck's like, no, we got to keep them. I'm like, Chuck, these are yours now. You fucking bought them. Take the fucking signs off of it.
Eastern fence.
And I remember like yelling. I remember yelling with Dave about it.
Yeah.
But it was like, and then my final argument was, are you in the fucking ring?
Yeah.
Are you the one going to take the shot? Because like someone's going to get thrown into this, and the last thing I want on my conscience is I could have took that off.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
Yeah.
I was like, why are they putting them back on?
Right.
Like,
And then I was like, no, they have to stay off. If you want them on, put them on the bottom or some shit, sure.
Yeah.
But like we weren't consulted about it at all.
Yeah.
So like the door doesn't really work properly for it, and it's like low, so like you can't. You gotta like
it's crazy.
We just should have been consulted.
Yep.
Like, that's I wish we were and we weren't. So.
were you surprised it showed up? Because a lot of things, not even just here, but in wrestling, in indie wrestling in general.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have this match, and then you show up. It doesn't show up. I've seen steel cage matches where it was like chicken wire, like one strip around the ring. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But that's what showed up.
Well, the best part about that whole thing was, remember, only 2 posts of the second ring showed up. So
fucking
Dana go back to Toronto.
Yeah, Dana shows up with it too. The post, and it's like okay. No, I wasn't surprised that the case showed up because like Chuck was so
He
was like, no, we're having. So I guess
he was thinking,
like you said, things don't happen, and I've been at shows where shit has been canceled, but for some reason I was like, oh, okay. It showed up late, but I wish it showed up a little earlier so we could have like put it up earlier. But
I mean, props to the guys who got it set up, and well, we all did, but the guys who got it tore down.
And the second ring.
That was fucking impressive.
Minutes,
That was
20 minutes.
impressive. Because like we couldn't go out and like we were just part of the match.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense to go.
So those guys, man, like worker ants.
Yeah, that was cool.
I wish I had a time lapse video of that.
I remember going out back. It felt like 5 minutes, and I walked back out, and everything was gone. I was like, "How the hell?"
Yeah,
I was expecting nothing to be
and that
touched.
whole side of the crowd moved in.
I was still getting changed. I was still getting like undressed because like cooling down and stuff like that, and looking out, going, "Oh fuck, like, cool." Like I don't know. I
and
can't
stacked and put away.
Yeah, I'll put away. I guess we trained him properly.
You worked Max Power and Dylan Davis before.
We worked Dynamite in IHW. Remember, he tagged with Brett.
Yeah, but weren't they a tag team at that point, anyways? We had to work them.
They were, but not in IHW. Like, had you worked them in UCW before?
I think so. Yeah,
must have.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, a few times.
Your thoughts on working with those guys?
I love them, man. It's so fun. Yeah, I have a good time with them.
I always laugh at Ed because his ankles are so small and his calves are so small that his boots. I always laugh at him because I never noticed it until he pointed it out, and that's all I can fucking see when I'm like looking at him. No, it's good. We had great chemistry. I thought we had great chemistry. I loved working Dynamite.
I was just comfortable in there with them. You know what I mean? Again, that level of trust with those other guys. It's good.
I love working both of them, but there's something about being in the ring with Dynamite that I love. Like he's like just.
Well, I must like him. Let him put me through a ladder.
I zoomed in on that cut.
Yeah, you did.
What were your thoughts on getting? Had you met Sin before, like out in Vegas or anything? You went to Vegas one time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you meet Sin up there then?
CAC. I had never met him up until
I met him at CAC, and then I met him. He brought him in for that, and then we were at like Swap's wedding the weekend before.
Okay.
So I punched Sin in the face on seminar, full on, like cold cocked him. Like we're like doing oh man. So we're doing a sequence, and I got to punch him into the corner, and then there was some stuff after. So as I'm punching him in the corner, like my third shot for some reason just went wild and just smoked him, and I went to stop to go, and he seen that I was about to stop. Don't fucking stop. So I just kept going, and then I apologized to him later, and he's just like, dude, it's fine. Like it's wrestling, and we're fine. I'm not bleeding. I'm not. Right. It's not going to be a bruise. There's no. And there's like it wasn't like a crazy hard shot, but it was a shot.
Right.
And then I remember the next night going to Swap's wedding, and I wanted to go like say hi to him or whatever like that, and like he ducked and counted and shit on me.
That's funny.
Fucker.
He's awesome.
No, Sin's awesome. Yeah. Really good.
Connors, you would have seen him wrestle as Original Sin with Real Action Wrestling. Then he went to WWE for a short time, and TNA.
Yeah.
What do you remember? Like, what do you think of like seeing him way back then, and then getting to work on a show with him? That like, I don't know, 17 years later,
right? So it's like a lifetime. It's just crazy to see the progression and like how his character and like him outside of the ring are just polar opposites. Well, I can't really say polar opposites, but they're like he's just like the commitment that he puts into what he's doing is like it's next level. Like I mean, like the face paint and like just the acting weird, his boots, like everything he puts into his character just blows me away. And then like getting to know the person outside the show, and like he's such a sweet, caring guy, and he's so knowledgeable. He's like just one of those brains that you can pick, and he just lays it all out in like just PB and J, man. Like he's amazing. So to see like his progression from RAW, which is crazy to think about from back then, to now is it's great. I'm glad to be able to fortunate enough to work on shows with someone like that. You know what I mean? Like those opportunities don't get presented to.
It's worse than a white girl. like you know, like
I need pumpkin spice latte.
Wait till the fall, man. Damn it!
Hell yeah.
So the next night in Kentville was the last night Titus would have worked for UCW, much like Julian.
Yes.
Titus, in my opinion, from the new generation of guys, is like heads and tails above everybody else. In my opinion, he's the best. Like, there's not even a close second. No. This is just my opinion. He's the other guy that I wished would have left and never came back. When he went to England the first time, I was like, yeah, I'm never going to see him again. But he came back. Son of a bitch. But I feel privileged to be able to watch him wrestle because, in my opinion, he's the best. What are your thoughts on now that you're not doing as many shows with him?
Again, I miss the shit out of him. He's one of them guys, again, that between him and Marcus and Julian, the whole slew of them, but between him and Marcus, for the most part, they were the two that have taken us under their wing, and like we were just sponges for whatever they had to say. And between the two of them, like they have, like, they're two totally different wrestlers, but they both share that same, you know what I mean? Like, so for them to just be like, them two guys, and they, you know, to grab us and just start feeding us all that.
Actually, when they realized that they want to take us under their wing, we were up in when we drove up to Campbellton, did the 6-hour drive in Campbellton. We showed up. They didn't know we were coming. Like Tyler, I messaged Tyler. He was like, "Yeah, we're here to help." He's like, "Why did you come all the way from Halifax?" Because we want to help. So we ended up loading in this tragic place, like up these. We had to put the ring truck next to the wooden stairs.
So someone has to be on top of the ring truck. You take the piece up the stairs on top of the ring truck and then in through the door.
Yeah,
amazing.
Super
terrifying in the rain.
So I remember watching and helping out there, and we went to the hotel afterwards that night. Of course, everyone's having a couple drinks, everyone's having fun, everything like that. Titus is running around with a fake AK-47, like the toy, like the little tiny miniature one.
Because he dressed up as Stitches.
Yeah, he dressed up as Stitches for Halloween. So like he just had the toy gun in his car. So he's running around like clicking that, making like little sounds. towards the end of the night, we're getting ready to go because we're tired. We got to drive back to Halifax the next morning. And as we're saying bye to everyone, I noticed like Marcus and Titus aren't around. So I was like, okay, maybe we'll see them on the way out. We go to walk out the hotel room, and in the bathroom, you know those like little miniature hair dryers that are on the wall, like connected to the wall. All you see is you look in.
Well, the bathroom door opens like awkwardly because two of them are jammed in the fucking bathroom. So the door's like
they're like fighting, playing around with each other. Suave's got the cord wrapped around Titus's neck, like obviously very loosely, and like Titus's hands are in there and they're joking around. What they're talking about and joking around, I don't know. But they're just like messing around, and then they like see, like, you guys going? Yeah, actually. Okay, see ya. So and then like they put it away, they give us a hug bye, stuff like that, and as we walk out the hotel room, like 2 seconds later I hear, "Hey guys," and we turn around, it's Titus. And Titus comes up and he's like, "If you guys want this, like start, like this is your time. You guys just proved to us that you wanted this, that you drive up here for this. So now start putting in the work." It took us a while to start really putting in the work. But yeah, it was
I don't think we understood what putting in the work really meant.
No, because at that, to us, all we knew was ring crew. It goes way past that. So, but yeah, that was the moment when like they, like, okay.
Well, it was that night we watched Dip and Chick had a ridiculous match that night, and we sat at the sound table and.
No, I was at where the tickets were being. You were at the sound table. I remember texting you or messaging you, going, "We need this right here," because like they had a crazy.
They beat the shit out of each other. It was amazing. So between that and then that time with Titus in the hotel, and just general talks with Suave during that day was that was a pivotal moment, I guess, for both of us.
And like now to see Titus not around and stuff like that fucking sucks. Like I went up to ACWA recently, and he was on the show, and I was pumped. Like I just couldn't be more happy. You know what I mean? To see him again. Yeah. And we had a great time. It was awesome. But it just sucked knowing that like I didn't know when I was going to see him again.
Yeah. Yeah, he's so good. It's insane.
Did you go to any of the Cosmo shows for IHW? With the one with Jake?
No.
Okay. Do you remember? So there was a spot in the match. It's Suave and
Superplex.
Yeah, it was Suave and Pete. No, it was Titus and Pete and Suave and Jake. Yeah, that makes sense. They're going up for their Superplex. Suave's going to get a Superplex like he does 1,000 times. Go up, something happens. One of them slips just a little bit. They go down. Suave's arm gets banged up on the top of the post because it's like open, it's exposed, so he's like cut open. Titus like could have ripped his whole guts open if he fell on it hard enough.
It was a scary moment.
Yeah, and they all both fell, and like everyone, because like at this point we're still by the curtain. Like we're still like, so we're freaking out. Do we run out? Do we help them? Pete gets down, walks over, looks at Titus, looks at Suave. They both like give him the look like, yeah, we'll be fine. He just gets back up, goes back up, and they go right back into their match. But it's like the scariest fucking moment I've ever seen.
That sucked.
Yeah.
So that night in Kentville, you got...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, pull the Kobe.
That's why I like the longer one.
Yeah.
Interviews. That night in Kentville, you guys won the tag titles back from Dubai's.
Yes.
Thoughts on that match and getting the titles back?
It was supposed to be a triple threat tag team match.
Yeah.
Due to booking, whatever it was, it got changed, and then it became just a 2-on-2. I love the match. There's a picture from it where Ed's giving me a spine buster, and like my look, I'm like, and Dynamite's behind me with the same look. And like there's people in the crowd that are reacting to it in the picture. Yeah. I loved it.
It was a fun match. The crowd was really into it,
and it was when we really got to go heel. Yeah. Like it was because like the night before at War Games when we bailed on them.
Kind of touched on it.
Kind of touched, like, okay, we're not good guys. Yeah. And then we got to turn and be heels. So that's what I was more excited about.
Well, it was the finish of a tour. I hit Ed with the
belt and everything.
The belt and stuff like that. So it was a good little flip right there. So
yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about turning heel? Because there's a lot of fans that like overly love you, and their kids and everything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
But that you're super over with parents and kids and things like that. What did you think about turning heel.
I loved it. I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to like just like. It makes them mad that we're being assholes, right? Like just this
Your T-shirt deal.
The hot tag.
No, that, but the only small sizes or whatever.
Yeah, the hot tag one. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we were told we had to be heels. It totally made sense. I was like, okay, it makes sense because we're assholes anyways. So let's fucking portray it. So down the line a little bit, a couple of like the vets were like, you have to get more heat. Yeah, and they had like, we need more heat from you. I was like, okay, fine. How do we do that? Like, I know that, like you said, like mothers love us because like before I was the one that was going out and Ricky Dragon in it, and like I didn't notice I was doing that until Steve Sabotage pointed it out one time. He's like, I love that you do that. Keep doing it as a face. So
go kick the kid.
Go kick the kid. Now I get to flip them off, so it's so much better. I go for a high five for them, and they got all excited, and then I flip the kid off. Like, where else can you do that?
That's right.
But the hot tag shirts. So we wanted to release a female-only shirt. Tag team champions or tag team specialists. Okay, hot tag. Put that on the back. It's like that's still not gonna get people like. Women will still buy this.
Yeah.
Like, how do we piss them off? Only release it up to fucking size medium. So at first we just had small and medium. So then, some of the mothers were angry. Some of the older ladies.
I was dying.
Some of the older ladies were hating it, and like, okay, we're onto something here. Awesome. Awesome.
Like brilliant.
So when we did our second run of them, I was like, oh, we're releasing a third size. I was like, yeah, large, extra small. And it's like, and then the best part was, and God love, the first batch didn't have them, but the second batch
did you guys actually sell them?
Yeah.
You got them done?
Yeah. So the second batch though, because Nathan does all of our shirts, right?
New Brunswick?
Yeah. Shout out Motor League. He does our shirts. So he wanted to do this on the first batch, but never had time. So on the second one, he took all the tags off himself, his idea, and put no fatties where it's supposed to be. Yeah. So I lost it. I was like, oh man, this is genius. Like, this is genius. So I remember making a post about it and everything like that. And then, and this is, I didn't think I was going to talk about this. Two of my family members, two of my sisters commented on it. Never have they commented on any of my other posts before. Anything, never messaged me, hey, awesome working in front of 1,300 people. Awesome that you're going up to Quebec. Awesome that you went down to Philly. Nothing. None of that shit. But they're a bit on the bigger side, which is fine. Yeah. Like they're beautiful women, and I fucking love my sisters. But that was the first time that they ever messaged on it, and they got pissed off. They made the post about themselves when I never said anything about them. Yeah. All I said was...
So you didn't smarten them up to it at all?
Well, no, I did. Not the shirt, not the post. Yeah. But I smartened them up that I was a heel and that my Facebook page was now my wrestling page. Yeah. And I'm a bad guy, so I'm going to say things that you're not going to agree with. And they just made it about themselves and tried made me look like an asshole, which I'm perfectly fucking fine with. Yeah. But then they go on this huge rant, and I haven't talked to my sisters or my stepfather or my mother because of this. My real father I haven't talked to about a year before that, but that was on bullshit reason, and I still haven't talked to him. It's fine. But my two sisters haven't talked to me because of those. Since.
Wow. That's some heat.
Yeah, that's some heat.
White hot.
So yes. I didn't make. All I said was #no fatties. Yeah. And they fucking lost it. So I was like, I'm onto something.
We were on the drive home.
Oh man!
And they called, and he would like I could hear through the phone. It's like if it was a cartoon, you could see like the lips and the tongue coming.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck yeah! They chewed him a new one.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm the biggest supporters of both of you.
Wow.
I named one of you. I'm a huge supporter of women kicking ass.
Yeah.
My girlfriend is one of the best fucking ones in the business right now. She kills it. I support that 100%. So why come at me like that? It was so much bullshit. Yeah, cool. No fatties. we gotta get more. Me and you are gonna sit down and see what else we can come up with.
Jesus.
So you win the tag titles.
Yeah.
What were your plans to do with them? You're still tag champs
Yes, we
from
are.
then.
Yeah.
It's almost a year. It'll be a year in April. Yeah.
That was more than a year now.
No, it was last April.
It was April.
Yeah. So. It'll be,
Oh no, the combined is over a year now. I think. Yeah.
So you'll be if you still have them come April, it'll be a year. No doubt that you will, of course. Don't kill me. What were your plans and like? Do you guys think you've been? Because you said you weren't necessarily ready the last time. It was smart to take them off you, putting them on kicking and stomping. What's the difference this time around?
The work ethic. We're putting it in the gym, and we're studying more. We're planning more stuff. We've sat down with Marcus on numerous occasions and told him that we want more challenges. We want, like last year, we wanted those challenges, but he knew we weren't ready still. And I accept that. Like, I'm not one to sit here and go, ooh, I wasn't ready for it. So why would I rather look like shit than wait and put the time in and then be able to put on better matches?
Yeah.
So we've sat him down and told him that we want to work certain people this year. And it might not come to fruition, all of them, but hopefully a couple. So that's super cool. And like all we want is, like, we are the only two people that are dedicated into the tag team right now.
Yeah.
We're the only ones that want to be a tag team.
We want to make that mean something.
and we want to make,
America.
because like when I first moved here, there was no tag belts at all.
Nope.
They were like, and then I think at one point, Man in a Mission were tag champs with those yellow ones.
Yeah. Man, Mom 2K.
Mom 2K, yeah. So it was like, and then after that, there was like nobody.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck this, man. Like, everyone else gets to have their division shine and everything.
Yeah.
Tag team wrestling is an amazing thing when it's done right.
So good.
We're still learning that. We're still getting there, but we want, like, Marcus put us in the main event with the ladder match. And people will say, oh, it's because Marco wasn't there, or anything like that. Marcus told us we were going in the main event for that show. And like, he gave us this opportunity, and I got the main event. We got the main event at the Forum,
Yeah. It's
which
a
is
big deal.
fucking
It
awesome.
was a big
Yeah.
deal.
And it meant a lot to me. So we took that as a challenge, and we went out there and tried to tell the best story that we could in that match. And that's what we're going to continue to do this year, is we want to tell better stories.
What are your thoughts on that ladder match? It was brutal. It
That was
one of the crazier matches I filmed last year,
that was
if not the craziest. You got cut up on the ladder, like sliced open. You went on some thumbtacks.
that was a different type of night for me. It was I was coming off of a personal low
Yeah.
the day before.
That was the
day before. So I walked into that match half of who I really am. I think that's why that match for me went as well as it did, because I had just
because he wasn't there mindset.
I had less like worry about certain things. So I kind of let a lot of things go during that match, and I kind of just let my body tell the story that was supposed to be told. I thank everyone in that match.
Yep.
Because I always talk about that level of trust. That was to allow someone to give you their body with something that could potentially like do
Really fuck you
serious
up.
harm.
Like,
Serious harm.
most of those spots in that match, someone could have got really fucked up. Case in point, that
Yeah,
could have been
still scarred.
that's brutal,
Yeah.
but that could have been much worse.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, any spot that all of us did could have been much worse.
Did I ever upload the stuff of you backstage getting fixed up?
I don't think you did.
No, I have some.
Do you?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Put it in the list
Yeah,
or
because you
whatever.
followed us right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah.
That was that was a big day.
It made me. I like those matches now.
The fact that we went into it knowing that we were going to continue to carry the titles, so that still meant for us that we were we had that responsibility to make the tag team division mean something
And make that match
not
not fucked up.
yeah. So
Because that was like no one normally bigger matches like that. There was like a vet guiding us, or like don't do that or do it this way. This was completely like we were trusted 100%. Marcus didn't want to know nothing of it. He said, "Go out there."
should do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You just said a word that made me think of another question. You said vet. What are your now around here? He might be considered a vet, but you guys don't have an actual true veteran in your locker room, such as a Mike Hughes or a
No.
Buddy Steele,
No.
Gary Williams, someone that's traveled the world more than once. Eric has recently,
yep.
absolutely, but not like a 20-year.
No.
Like what do you think that's missing? Like, would you like to have someone like that, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think that type of presence in a locker room could really, it could be a good thing. You know what I mean? Especially with like the knowledge of like Gary, or just to have them there, like to go over like even after your match.
I think at the
Just
beginning
yeah.
of it, at the beginning of UCW when Marcus took over, if we had that type of thing, then maybe. But I think we're at a spot now that it's like
we're kind of doing our own thing on our own path. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're trusting in each other to try to build the best thing
Yeah.
that we can. I mean, it's not saying that we don't need their guidance or anything. Like any type of opinion is always welcome, because it's just constructive criticism, no matter who it comes from, in my
Yeah.
opinion, right? But I don't know. I think the path that
Definitely
we're on
would
our own
benefit.
right now.
Like
Yeah,
we're on the
absolutely.
right, we're not right, I don't want to say right path, but we're on the path now, like the company itself, that we're going in a certain direction. But of course, having someone there
Always.
that's done 20 years and know
Always.
the world is obviously beneficial in any part. It would be good.
Whether they're like, and that doesn't have to be a constant thing in the locker room, or whether they're there like, you know,
No,
every
because-
now and then, you know, every other show.
Because
like,
we've had those guys show
Oh
up
yeah.
afterwards, like when it was just UCW, IHW.
But it's not like a Red Rock show where Mike's in the locker room
No.
all of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his promotion.
I
I'm not using it.
I was up there twice to help out.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get to some Red Rock stuff
Okay.
after this. Yeah, but yeah. So you, the vet in the locker room, you'd like to have it?
oh yeah, absolutely. I think, and like I said, not every show, but like,
There's got to be times when
Yeah, you
you know
gotta-
Marcus has probably been like fucking overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do here? Like,
Yeah.
and you can only rely on us for so much stuff. Like, I got a lot of life experience, but I got no fucking wrestling experience.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when it comes to stuff like that, yeah,
So like Pete Dunne's been brought in, Tyler Bates been brought in, Justin Gabriel's been brought in, Jack Swagger's been brought in. No one's ever been brought in as like, not necessarily as a tag team, but someone for you guys to work that's of name value from
Yeah.
outside of the Maritimes or
Yeah.
outside of Canada. Is that something you would like to see happen?
yes,
yes,
100%.
Who are some of the
TDT,
Who are some of the people that you would like?
TDT,
like
Tabernacle Team,
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers. I don't know if you know too much about them. There's the Voro twins out in BC.
yeah.
I would love to get in the ring with. I was down in Philly training at Monster Factory, and those two were there, and like they get tag team wrestling because they're fucking twins, anyways, right? But they have that connection
Yeah.
where they don't need to talk at all.
But what about like a name level from like television? That's
Oh,
like
like-
kind of what I meant.
Oh,
like
okay,
a Justin
so like
Gabriel
that
or
mean, like-
Oh, sorry. To
No,
me,
no, it's
to me, those to
Yeah,
me,
yeah, no,
TDT.
absolutely. I was gonna ask that after, so that's
okay, but
totally
yeah,
fine.
to me, like
Yeah.
TDT and SSB, like those boys have traveled.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're great,
Yeah.
so that's why that came to mind.
Yeah.
of course, like Young Bucks would be like,
Okay, I love
you
that.
know, like
So we were so close.
I know, and it was like,
Yeah, I have an idea now if something can happen.
okay.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah. To be continued. I don't name worthy that we built because most of them are under contracts now. Anyways.
Yeah, but there's TNA talent. There's like outside like.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Like
Yes.
outside,
My God.
Like a Jack Swagger.
Yes,
or
okay,
like
sorry,
a Justin
yeah.
Gabriel.
Yeah, my
or
mind.
somebody that's not on television, or even like.
I would love to work Lucha Bros and LAX.
Yeah,
I'd
okay.
love to work those two. Also, Rascals.
Yep.
You seen some of those guys?
Where are they?
Rascals is Desmond Xavier.
Oh, okay.
Trey Miguel. I can't remember. And
I know Desmond.
yeah, and there's another guy I can't remember his name. Those guys from like TNA, like they've been having banger matches all year, and like to work those guys or not now because they're signed with WWE, but like grizzled young vets, Zach Gibson and James Drake.
Yep.
Like he points it out to me every time. James Drake's selling is amazing, but now they're signed, so well, not technically, but.
Yeah, I mean, some of their NXT people can still do shit every now and again until they get in that main push.
Like CCK from Progress would be pretty sick to wrestle too.
Yeah.
There's a few.
Yeah.
In time, I hope.
It's not something to really think about. I think we should think about it more, I guess. But like,
yeah, because it helps elevate you. Like
Yeah.
Marco is that much bigger because he beat Justin Gabriel. Eric's that much bigger of a star because he wrestled Pete Dunne, right?
Right.
Because he wrestled Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Or when someone wrestled Dick came to bigger star because he
Yeah.
beat Jack Swagger. People like it should be, but it's not as big as a deal if Dick beats Titus, right?
No, that's
but
fair.
if Dick
No, it's
beats
totally
former
true.
world champion Jack Swagger, it's a big deal.
That's
It
very
elevates
true.
it in the fans' eyes, right?
Absolutely.
very true.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
Hopefully,
in the meantime, and it's never really been done for a tag team either. There's been tag team matches that have taken place with names and stuff that are brought in, but never specifically like.
Who would you want to see us face flying?
I want to see the Young Bucks.
Well, yeah, but like we know
Whoever they face.
yeah, whoever it is, it doesn't matter at that point.
I don't know. It's a tough question because there's not a lot of established like tag teams that are big. There's a couple guys in Ring of Honor, like
Yeah.
those guys.
Like OVW or something.
Oh fuck, Briscoes.
Yeah,
Briscoes would
it'd
be
be
great.
sweet too. I'm thinking of a team, but I can't think of their name at the moment. It'll come to me, but it's just because there's not a lot, and it's double the PO for the promoter to bring in, which
Understandable,
is
yeah.
why it doesn't happen. But there's been shows where there's been two names, right? Do you know what I mean? They could make an exception. They put you in the main event of the TLC of the of the ladder match at the summer show.
Yeah.
Why not have the two names work you guys in a tag match or whoever?
It's not.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's not unfeasible.
Yeah, it would make the belts mean something more.
Yeah, and that's what we want. We want
Yeah.
like because our goal is that when we lose the belts, it makes those people that win them that much better. It just like not just
Yeah, like
we
it
just
brings
wanna-
credibility to
Yeah.
that title.
It's
And
like,
the-
oh
to the
fuck, they beat
division.
Sabotage. Like
Yeah.
that's what we want, not because like
And
we're
yeah.
these great wrestlers. We just want those belts to mean something in this division, in this company.
Yep.
And we I think we've done a little bit of a good job to a degree because like I think this might be the longest stretch that there has been the belts on every show.
Oh, 100%. People usually, like Mom 2K, people usually come in, win them, and never defend them. Or
Yeah.
like Jake and Tim, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if they defended them, but they got, it just went to some new, went to Greaser and Ryan, Spades, right?
Well,
I don't
no,
even know how they won them.
No. Because remember, Marcus and Julian won them off kicking and stomping one night.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, from one night down. That place that had the pool outside that I got kicked out of.
Oh, at the not the Rib Fest.
Digby. It was Digby. Yeah.
Oh, the Wharf Rally thing. That thing?
No.
The actual show?
It was a show,
Okay.
and they beat kicking and stomping.
Okay.
And I remember
Who did they lose them to?
they lost them again, right back to him, right back to kicking and stomping the
that
next
makes
night.
sense,
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Dark Side.
Then it went to Dark Side. Yeah. I forget how they won it. Oh no, I remember how they won it.
The Triple Threat.
Yeah.
We'll just change subjects here and we'll come back to it. What are your thoughts of working for Mainstream Wrestling New Brunswick and NWE? Have you worked for both of those companies?
I have. He hasn't.
You haven't?
I
Okay.
did a singles match for NWE against Kobe. Wicked. Loved
Yeah.
that match. That was a really
How
fun
come you
match.
haven't been back up? Just
Because I don't get along with Sean Nelson. That's why. if I know that's why I haven't been booked back there. Because he did something very unsafe that night in a ladder match, and I almost killed Fantana. And I was very vocal about it. Like, I know it was my first night in the company, but like, you know, dude, you're the owner of the company and you're supposed to be a veteran. Did something unsafe that I didn't agree with. I'm not going to sit there. Like, I had to make sure that Fantana was not. Like, he was concussed,
Yeah.
but I had to make sure that he was going to be able to, like, survive the night. Like, he landed on his head. Like, that's not cool.
No.
So I voiced my opinion, and, yeah, I wasn't expecting them to get brought back at all. As for MSW, yeah, we worked them.
Yeah.
I think I might have done, like, one single spot up there.
Yeah, we only worked there like maybe 3 times.
Couple
Yeah,
times.
maybe a couple times.
Have you ever worked for ECPW in Cape Breton?
No.
Sheldon?
No.
You guys work for ACWA
Yes.
up there. What are your memories working for ACWA? Is Tyson running it then? Or Narcissus?
Yeah, between
Yeah,
Tyson
okay.
Debo.
Well, Tyson fucking tried a satellite book on the last tour that we were on and shit like that, and tried to. Yeah, he wouldn't show up because he was too much of a fucking pussy. So.
There's a problem there.
Yeah, not against us at all,
Oh.
but like he started saying shit about us afterwards and stuff like that, and online that made no sense. And then when we unfollowed him, he questioned. I think he went to you and questioned and asked like, why did Justin unfollow me on Facebook or whatever?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was like because you were being a dick to us online, and we haven't interacted in almost a year. So like that's gonna be our first interaction. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But ACW was fun. The ring was fucking shit.
Yeah, that
was-
ring used to be so sweet.
It was
Back in
so
the day.
scary to work in, and
Yeah,
like
it's
for two people that can make a ring work, we struggled. We struggled, and like we got the ropes semi-tight one night, and then it fell apart halfway through, and then
my God.
Chris Masters I think had to go out and wrestle in this shitty ass
yeah.
match.
It's
Or, he had a
embarrassing, man.
good match, but in the shitty ass ring.
Yeah.
It was fun trips. It was definitely
yeah.
fun trips. Was it ran well? No.
You guys never wrestled for Red Rock,
No.
but
Nope.
you went over for some shows.
I went up.
I've
to
never
help.
been per-
He's
You've never
never
been?
been there. I went up to help twice.
What are your thoughts on Red Rock?
What a well-run show. Like.
From what I hear, it's just like
Of course, Mike has
Amazing,
that
you know what I mean?
like experience and knowledge from working all over the world, and it shows because he's like you said, he's in he's
Professionalism.
he's right next to the screen the entire time, and he's critiquing it on the fly. And then when they come back, doesn't matter if it's Titus or if it would have been me or if
Anybody.
it were Shane, Greaser, anyone like
Yeah.
that. They come back and right away, and it was never he never berated anyone.
No.
But it was
Constructive
so
criticism.
constructive criticism and so much professionalism.
Well, that's what you want. You want the vet
Oh,
to watch your
100%.
match and tell you what you did
Yeah.
wrong, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going.
Yeah, I love it, and I love the setup for the whole venue. Like it's sweet. I've never had a bad experience over there. It was great. Good stories afterwards too.
Would you like to someday wrestle for Red Rock over both of you?
Yeah, why not?
absolutely.
Every other company. So that's the
You
only
think you start a
company.
tag team division?
I'd love it. I know Mike probably wouldn't do that.
Sabotage, Red Rock Tag Team. Sounds pretty good.
I think you started booking women for the first time, not because there's women, because there was no women. So now there's women, you started booking them. So
That's true.
Maybe a tag team.
Never know.
So lately here in the Maritimes, it's been around before. It kind of left for a little while. It's back now. Where people telling other people where they can't work for other people, places, promotions, and all that amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous, personally.
Yeah.
But what are your guys' thoughts on that? Just first, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
It's a head
And
scratcher.
it's not something that's not public because people
No,
have been
no.
arguing on
And
it.
I know,
I don't generally bring stuff up that people
Yeah.
don't already know
No,
about
no.
that serious, but it's,
Oh, no.
it's been argued publicly on
Yeah,
Facebook.
I've done it myself too.
So-
That's why I hate it. I hate the whole
Yeah.
thing because now the fans are going to suffer.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I
okay.
like.
The exclusivity part, it's more bring it back to there's personal issues. So and then two companies running in the same city, there's a fear, not fear. There's a
Misconception.
worry and misconception like what happens if we went there and we got booked to lose all the time.
Yeah.
Or there's that like we've built up so much, and yeah, okay, UCW has come into IHW's territory. Okay, that's I guess an unwritten rule from back in the day. We've all broken fucking rules. You know what I mean? And I know most of it was for a personal reason, but I can understand in the one city where they don't want us to work for both companies.
Right.
I can understand that from a point of view of storyline wise and stuff like that. We were told that if it was outside Moncton, we can work for whoever the fuck we want. But we put so much work into Moncton. Why would we throw that away?
Money? But I'll say what I've been told over the years. that you should. I've asked just what every name that's ever come through here, and they all say the same thing. They just say in different words, but essentially what they say
Go
is,
with money.
but unless someone is paying 100% of your bills, you should be working everywhere. Like if you had a job at Walmart, they're not going to tell you can't get a second job at Canadian Tire to pay all of your bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is that fair, you think?
Absolutely.
Or some people disagree and some people agree. I honestly want your opinion. I'm not trying to feed you something.
No, I know.
I want your opinion.
I have no desire. I had no desire to work for IHW because they let us go without any just cause. So like,
but even now that it's like under like being run by Brody Steele, Titus,
I feel
Mike
that
Hughes is there.
We've never been.
I don't want to right now because of what's going on.
Yeah.
If there was different circumstances between the two companies, yeah, maybe. But I don't want to be stuck in the middle of like a high school pissing contest in a playground.
Yeah.
That's what I don't want.
You don't want to hear like, oh, this guy sucks from this guy, and then you go to the next show and this guy sucks from that guy.
Because
and
when
you're
this,
in the middle.
Because when this whole shit split, and Dick and Chip were still wrestling for IHW at the time.
Yeah.
And Squishy was there reffing as well.
Mm-hmm.
We were told by 3 of them that they weren't treated as well. They were like, they weren't talked to as much. They weren't like there was already that. Yeah, there was already that like uncomfortable feeling. Why the fuck do we want to go to a roster?
Right, and that makes no sense. Why you're friends? At the end of the day, you're all friends. Why would you treat someone differently?
100%. And then after realizing that, and then knowing
you should be all friends.
Well, it should be. But then after realizing that, and then disagreeing with certain people on the roster about things and everything like that, I have no desire to work there right now.
Okay,
I really don't.
Fair enough.
And that's fine. And like the other stuff, like the other people, like you
at all, or just in Moncton? You have no desire to work for them at all, or just Moncton?
Well, here's the thing: like they've never reached out for us to work for them, and then I got messaged to work for them by myself, not booked with Sabotage, by myself, double PO.
Yeah, that was recently, right?
That was very recently.
Yeah.
Why? I'm not that important that you want me on that show.
Just to stir shit.
It was just to stir shit. And I don't agree with that. Marcus has put us in a position, and we appreciate that position.
Yep.
And he's, like I said, he's let us fail and brought us back up. I'm not going to turn my back, and not saying other people have, by going to another company to work, but why would we go there when they don't have any tag teams, when they don't have any divisions for that? We're tag team wrestlers through and through, and that's what we're trying to master as our craft. It's just, I think it's all bullshit. I think this whole fucking feud, this whole heat is bullshit. But we're not high enough on a totem pole that we can make a difference in this.
Right.
So, kind of like...
You don't want to be pulled from both directions.
No.
If you were there, and that's more than likely what...
It would be. It 100% would be. Yeah. And I don't want to be that guy going, or I don't want to be that guy that, everyone's coming up, what are they saying over there? What are they saying over there?
Right.
Like, I don't want none of that fucking part.
I'm not the messenger.
Like, and for the sake of like 10 extra bookings of the year. Not saying they could probably get us more bookings by networking through other companies and stuff like that. It's just not worth it. The juice isn't worth the squeeze for on our end. Hey.
That's the second time I think.
That's our little. Is it worth it? Is it like because we put so much effort into UCW, and we did put so much effort into IHW, and we're just giving up. Like
right.
It's like cool.
The boot.
Did you guys see? I think I asked you already this before. Watch the interview with Covey?
No.
Okay,
no.
That's totally fine.
The reason we haven't.
Why not? No.
The reason we haven't, and because I messaged Covey and was like, or I was talking to him in person, and I said, "Is there anything on this that we don't know?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No." He's like, "It's basically if you went on a car ride with me, because we know the stories."
So did he tell you why he left or had to leave UCW?
We woke up to the news.
Yeah, I know. But you guys know, like his story, right?
Yeah.
What you guys were pretty close. You guys train together all the time.
Yeah.
He's such a knowledgeable guy.
Very.
He's another like Julian left, Titus is gone, and now Covey is gone.
It's a huge blow.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's a huge blow.
And how it was done to him, according to him. Like he told me, for people that haven't watched his interview, he told me that he was told it was okay if he worked IHW outside of like a certain amount of days in between shows. He couldn't work UCW like 2 weeks prior to IHW or something along those lines. That's what he said in the interview. And he got the okay to do that.
Right.
And the second he was announced, they said, we don't want you anymore.
Yeah, so we've heard both sides.
Okay. That was his side?
Yeah, we've heard both sides, and they don't line up.
Yeah.
No, it's just
So when it, with the second,
never do.
No, exactly. But like it's the second
Hold on,
that.
sorry, I had to change the battery again.
no.
Yeah. All right, the battery's changed. We're back here, and you guys were going to talk about. I just said why Covey said he left IHW or UCW to go to IHW.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on his version of the story, and yeah.
His version of the story, like from what we've been told, some of it makes sense, and the stuff that he fuck's sakes, this is so stupid. There's two different sides of this story. Neither one of them involves us.
Yep. No.
No. And this is my thoughts on it. I'm like not trying to like beat around the bush. Neither one of the stories involve us. We weren't contacted before it happened, and rightfully so, because like I said, we're not high enough on total pole to do that shit.
Yeah.
But then after it happened, we were kind of like berated for not picking one side or the other.
Right.
And it's like, why? I understand that I'm brothers to both these people, but it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
My name's not in this shit. Why do I have to like either step up and fucking say this or step back and not say one word?
Yeah. I agree.
So,
and you made, at least sometimes you get made to feel, or at least I feel like it, like if you like this guy, you can't like that guy.
Yeah.
And I won't play that game. Like
No.
if just because so and so doesn't like this guy doesn't mean I don't
no,
have to like this guy.
and we told Marcus like Covey's our brother.
Yeah.
Like we have traveled up and down the roads with him, just as much as we travel up and down the roads with Marcus.
Yeah.
And Covey has helped me become a better person outside of the ring. So like I told him, I was like, I'm never gonna like stop hanging around with him, stop talking to him or anything like that. And he said, no, I don't want you to.
Yeah.
But I said, you understand? Like I need you both to understand that like I just can't be in the middle of this shit.
Yeah.
And like I felt like I was getting dragged into it at one point, and I just didn't like. I'm not getting paid enough. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid enough to have an opinion that's worth anything. So don't try to bring me in and play me as a pawn. Not saying Covey did or Marcus did,
Yeah.
but don't try to bring other people in afterwards to try to. Because like after this happened, then there was talks that ISW wanted us and Cody and Dynamite and shit like that. And it's like, well, where were those before? Because ISW didn't give Covey or Dynamite a fucking chance.
No. Yeah, he'd never worked with them before.
No, ever.
This
Neither
upcoming show.
Yeah, neither.
Dynamite,
Dynamite's done a couple, but they didn't utilize him.
Yeah.
Dynamite's like a fucking workhorse,
Yep.
in and outside of the ring, and he looks like $1 million.
Yeah.
That guy should have been in some position where he was like going for a title or something, and they never utilized him. And it was because like he was from Newfoundland, or they didn't fucking know him well enough, or something like that.
Yeah.
Once again, that's Kevin's booking. That's fucking bullshit.
Wrestling.
So that situation has never come up to you guys. You haven't like had any issues. Like if you wanted, do you think if you wanted to take it, like you guys have worked for other people?
Yeah.
You have no issues.
If it's outside of Moncton.
Yeah.
So
It's outside of
you
Moncton.
guys have no problem.
I have no
Like,
problem
you
with
have no
working
problem?
for ISW outside of Moncton. Like I really don't, because like it's another place to work.
Yep.
But like I'm not gonna like, Jesus Christ, if Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling
Yep.
came down here and worked in Halifax, I'm not gonna work for them because I'm already working for another company.
Right.
But if UCW went to fucking Montreal and tried to run next to Torture Chamber, like,
Were you guys going to work Destiny when Destiny came here?
yes, yeah, we were booked for both shows. Actually, we're on one of the posters.
What's the difference? I didn't even have that question until
No,
you
that's
said
good.
that.
That's good. That's good because they were working together.
They're working together.
They're
Okay.
working
Yeah,
together.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they're working together.
Yep.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
a very good
yeah,
point.
I just thought of that.
Yeah, and so I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Fucking good. No, because they were working together. It was like a co-produced thing under Destiny's banner, but
Right.
right. So
That's supposed to happen twice now. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna. Oh, and another promotion I forgot to mention was New Breed Wrestling. What are your thoughts?
On New
there?
Breed.
Yeah, New Breed's fun.
Yeah.
New Breed's wicked.
We got the
It's a good group of
did we
guys,
do-
man.
We do 2 matches as Sabotage?
Yeah, and then my injury kind of pulled me away, so you took, you were doing
some single
some
stuff.
single stuff there.
Love it. I love working for Andre. Andre is like,
It's fun, man.
yeah, I really like working for him and
Good
dealing
atmosphere.
with him. It's so easy to deal with him, and yeah, it's cool. And then like that's the place now
Yeah.
that the boys can come together.
Yeah.
You know what I
it's
mean?
So nice seeing everybody.
Yeah,
there.
it's so nice seeing everybody there.
No
And like at
drama.
first it
It's
was
like a family barbecue.
yeah, at first it was like it kind of felt like, oh, what's it gonna be like? Because I'm very new to all this as well. Like like I said, I watched 2 indie shows and then was in the business. So
Yeah.
like I never got to really like sit back and see all this.
Yeah.
So
and
apparently,
it's always been around, but also not really. Like it's been gone for a little while. Yeah, like back in the early 2000s, it was strong. You can't work for anybody
yeah,
else.
that's what I heard.
Then it
yeah.
kind of went away. Then the mid 2000s, it came back. You
Yeah.
can't work for anybody else. Then it kind of went away, and now it's back again.
Back again. And it'll go away, and then
It'll
it'll
come
come
Yeah.
back again.
Yeah.
No, I love working for New Breed. I
Yeah.
really do. Like, there's not like Andre's taken something from scratch. I know there was New Breed before.
Yeah.
Right. I understand that, but
He's just rekindled.
he rekindled something, but on a better scale, I believe, in the same building. But like you've been there, and that place has been packed.
Oh yeah.
And like
Yeah.
that's such
sure
a cool.
we break the fire code every
Oh,
time.
every time.
Yeah.
So, like, it was a really cool feeling to be a part of that growth with that company. Same thing with UCW, being a part of that growth. But when we got to do that Rumble show that Andre did in
Yep.
Truro,
Yep.
that was super cool.
Yeah.
Like, wicked venue and like understanding, like everyone would tell me stories about old New Breed and like all this stuff. So it was really cool. Hopefully it brings us back.
Notice the tape on the wall and the Burt Legion.
I've been told.
Yeah, it's been there since like 2006.
Yeah, Troy's told me. He's like,
Troy punched it, and all they did was
tape over it.
put paper over it, and it's been there for 13 years.
Hell yeah.
All right, we're going to answer, or you guys are going to answer some fan questions. right now.
people actually care enough? Cool.
Shane Wilkie wants to know, what do you put on hot dogs?
Hey, Shane.
Oh, okay. Bacon bits,
Bacon bits.
mustard,
Yep.
ketchup,
Yep.
relish, any type of real shredded cheese.
No relish for me. On hot dogs.
Joe Garp, the...
Joe Gabby!
I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. Wants to know, why are you both so goddamn sexy? And there was a laugh face emoji used, and Sarah Otis, formerly known as Sarah Publicover, says she loves this question.
Oh.
It's all premeditated.
Why are we so goddamn sexy? Was that the question?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask my mom. She gave birth to me.
Yeah. No. We're 6'2" and better than you. Like, straight up. No, we're.
I should have read these questions.
No, not now. Don't read them now. No, we're good. We're 6'2", we're over 200 pounds, and we're not overweight, out of shape people. So people like that, I guess.
Just handsome.
Just that damn sexy. It's because I'm from Newfoundland, so
There you go.
I don't know his excuse.
Will Edstrom Storm wants to know, who will win in a pancake eating contest between the two of you.
Him.
Who would win? You?
Okay.
Him.
I'm reading these questions for the first time as I read them.
Good. Keep doing that. No, keep doing that. Him, hands down. We've come back from after shows. We'll get like pizza from Freeman's. So I get like a medium. He gets a medium. It's like 8 slices each. I go maybe get a glass. He's halfway through. Like he can destroy it.
Greg Harris. I guess you guys kind of answered this one. What made you both individually get into wrestling?
Just having the opportunity for me was just getting that chance because it never was around me in Newfoundland. So
I just wanted to dive into like a passion that I always wanted forever. It's just I just wanted to try something out that I've like always just was attracted to since I was a kid, and I had the opportunity to, so I took it.
jump 360, double fuck you.
Toe, foot, toe, heel, fuck you.
Landon Morris.
RuPaul. Fuck you.
Landon Morris wants to know, what do you think would help to improve the scene in Nova Scotia? It's already great, but what do you think could be changed? He's a kid I miss having at shows.
Oh, me too.
So helpful.
You need to do a Landon interview.
Yeah.
that'd be sick.
He was my boom guy one time.
Nice. No, he's awesome.
Such a big help.
Hi, Landon.
What's up, Landon? Come back.
What can make it better?
What would help improve the scene in Nova Scotia?
Exposure.
Yeah.
So like,
like
streaming,
things, Twitch, and all that
stuff like that. Being able to get because right now it's hard. Like, you know, we put it the footage afterwards and stuff like that, but being able to stream it live would bring people's attention, and I think, and then make other people want to come in here and give us better exposure across the world. So, because like it's, you know, yeah, you can put your links up and stuff, and it's fucking amazing that you come and you film these and you put them up for us, because God love you for this. But just having that live aspect would, I think, really...
Well, that's just like having that live aspect too puts a sense of urgency into everyone backstage, because they know it's like do or die in that moment.
Yeah.
And more tag team wrestling. Woo!
Yeah, so like that, having that drive backstage, knowing that it's live and everyone's gonna see it like as it's happening, it kind of puts that little bit of pressure on people to perform a little bit better, I think. Yeah. So that in itself would make everything a lot better, I think.
Jordan Talbot, how do you feel about being the team that has brought tag team wrestling back, in all capitals, to Maritime Wrestling? No capitals.
Appreciate that. I don't know. It feels pretty good to
have someone say that, yeah, because that's what we wanted. We're like, if we're gonna do tag team wrestling, it's like not just to do like wrestling. That's what we wanted. We want people to have a genuine interest in tag team wrestling.
Well, it's something that we thoroughly enjoy, and we know that everyone else enjoys tag team. Like, I don't hear anyone say I don't like tag team wrestling.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, everyone loves tag team wrestling, and they just don't get enough of it. So to be able to be a part of something that people now go to a show to see, it's not just all singles matches, or like, again, like, which is two random people jammed together. They get to go see a legit team like work together to, you know, whatever, tell that story in the ring. But it's I don't know, pretty cool to have that, like, be behind like a rejuvenation of the tag team division, I guess you want to call it.
Do you guys have a hard time getting booked as a tag team away from here, because it is double PO for a promoter?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep. We
Does
just
that ever like
prove
make you
ourselves.
think of not doing it, or you just no?
Just prove ourselves.
Awesome. Clyde Frotton.
Hi, Clyde.
Who was your inspiration as a wrestler to get into the business? He's got a two-part question here. That's the first part.
Bret Hart for me.
Yeah.
/ Shawn Michaels, I guess. I don't know. It's like,
growing up, I always liked all the bad guys,
Yeah.
and then Bret Hart. Like, there's all the bad guys and Bret Hart. But like Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys.
Jeff Hardy was like my idol.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the second part of his question: who is your favorite maritime wrestler?
Ooh.
man, I can't answer that without like feeling like I'm.
Well, I can.
Who's your favorite guy to watch? It doesn't necessarily mean
go
you think
first.
someone's better than
You go first.
Favorite watch?
Oh,
Dick.
favorite to watch?
Dick
Yeah.
Dirty was
That's
my
what Kobe
Absolutely,
said too.
yeah.
yeah. Dick Dirty was my
Definitely.
favorite wrestler. Like, to watch, to learn from,
Right, yeah.
to like, not to take away from anybody else, because like there's so many people that have great matches.
Yeah.
Marcus and Double XL in Wrestle Center.
Steve.
They had a clinic of a match that blew me away. The first like 7 minutes weren't even
that in
talked
Kentville?
about.
Yeah.
No,
No,
Halifax.
Yeah, I ref one of their matches.
Yeah,
it was in Kentville though.
they've had crazy matches, and then like any match that Titus gets put in is crazy. But Dick is my favorite maritime
I
wrestler.
have to agree. He brings another level of like whatever he's doing in the ring. He makes like he suspends the disbelief. Is like the goal that we all go out there to do. He nails it every time.
Yeah.
He's a machine, and I love him. Just putting that out there.
Think he'll ever come back?
I fucking hope so.
And if they can give him a new body, for sure.
Riley Puttister.
But from Newfoundland.
Yeah, thoughts on the wrestling scene in Newfoundland? Have you been over there?
No.
It's
New
in
Evolution
a, it's in a
Yeah, I
state.
know you're talking. Yeah, it's a thing.
It's
It's a thing. It's wrestling, I guess.
They draw pretty well.
Yeah.
But they've had wrestling before. And it's
No, I know they have. I know they
It
have.
didn't
I
go
get that. I get that. But when you have a roster of like all untrained people
Yeah.
besides one person,
It's always been that way over there, though.
and you don't bring back your fucking trained person that has left,
Dylan Davis.
Dylan Davis.
It's just not what it should and could be right
Yeah.
now.
That's
I'm gonna sound like a real fucking asshole right now, and I don't
What
care.
you're saying is not what they should have.
They should not have at the beginning of their show that don't try this at home. It's trained professionals in the ring.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you should not have that.
It's for some reason though, like cutting edge wrestling back in the day, it's always been like that. I don't know if it's like
because there's-
Sailor White was like the trainer over there, but
I don't know anything about like that,
Yeah, and they were never.
there's
none
no
of them were never really
schools.
trained.
I know for a fact that when they bring people in, that half the people, 3/4 of the people, don't even try to sign up for the seminars. So if you're not going to try to better yourself and you just
Yep.
want to stroke yourself,
Yeah.
jerk yourself off at home.
Yeah.
Like don't try to be something half-assed. That's what we did for a bit, but like we're trying our best now. And it's like it just seems like they're just riding on the fact that they're the only company going around.
Kevin Daniels, who would be the dream tag team to wrestle in WWE? Like a WWE tag team right now,
Right now?
I guess, or ever,
the revival.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be so
Revival.
and on the independent scene.
Young Bucks.
fun. Young
Young
Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They try to get booked with all elite.
Yeah. I think that's the only that's
Young
the,
Bucks or Lucha Bros would be fun.
Yeah.
Would you guys try and get booked with all elite wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
If we ever had the opportunity, fuck yeah.
Reach out. The internet's
So it's a magical
place.
thing.
Yeah.
Who says we haven't already?
Well, there you go. Jeff Donnelly? Donald? What is your long-term goal right now? Going WWE, ROH, Impact, AEW? Or stay local and teach the new one? Or new ones?
New ones. He's French, so
Yeah.
sometimes
What is tag
he's
team
Jeff
wrestling?
Donnell. Well, honestly, right now I'm in the military, so I can't try to venture out far places because it's hard to get time off in that sense. Not hard to get time off, but I only have so much that I can take off. So it's very hard for me to try to travel a lot of places. The ultimate goal, obviously, is to go somewhere and make as much money as you can. The more realistic goal is to make our stamp in history, a good stamp in maritime wrestling history, is to have a point when people go, because people now go, remember Sinners?
Yeah.
I want that 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road. Fuck, Sabotage killed it as a tag team.
That was the last time that a full-time living was made in the Maritimes
Yeah, I know.
wrestling. Do you think that'll ever come back again? No?
Unfortunately.
Why not?
Economy.
What?
Economy.
Oh, economy.
Economy, 100%.
Can't
Not
support
that there's not enough fans for it, not that there's not enough wrestlers or companies or shows going on.
Just can't afford
There's no, can't afford it. Like people are stretching everything thin. Everybody
Just to
that I know.
Just to
You
live.
know.
Everyone's having to cut back their extracurriculars anyway, so to like spend that type of money to go to like those that.
If
many
we were
shows,
in Ontario, if we were in anywhere in the state, not anywhere in the states, but like if we were in big areas that had shit tons of shows going on all the time, and a huge population, because like in Toronto, you could in one show you could have 1,000 people, and the next show you could have a different 1,000 people. Now I know they're all the same people,
yeah,
but, you know, but there's so much population there that can sustain that. The Maritimes just can't. There's people moving away for fucking jobs. Like,
We it's kind of funny. We drew we being the Maritimes drew the biggest crowds before social media existed. Real Action Wrestling was drawing over 1,000 people in Halifax every other week, right? Since social media became a thing, they've never reached that on a consistent basis. They've reached it, but not on a consistent basis. Why do you think that is? Don't you think social media
we're not
should
plugging
have
into
helped?
the right. Yeah, 100%. We're not plugging into the right markets.
Not the right
We're not
demographics
going
and
into the right demographics. Like there should be more bar type shows at the universities.
Yeah.
Like we should be reaching out to the LGBTQ community.
Right, but you're not going to get like 1,000 people at the bar, right? What I mean.
No, but what I mean, but like we should be doing those.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because then when we have our normal shows,
Yeah.
we draw the 500 people from the university that heard about us. Then we draw the 300 people from this community, like our arts community or whatever. Like we just need to incorporate ourselves into those types of communities.
Right.
Because we support them, they'll support us.
Yeah, we used to do shows at Reflections back in the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing.
Right. So
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. Like those types of smaller shows will bring in the bigger crowds.
Right. But what's the difference between you guys and what Real Action or Grand Prix were doing back in the day? We didn't have any of that. They didn't do any of that.
I think that's why. They didn't have, like, the internet wasn't as huge, so it's like you can't sit at home and, like, YouTube every single match
that
that you
makes
ever want
sense.
to watch,
Yeah.
like the network and stuff.
No, that's just
Yeah.
very true.
You just can't do it.
Because like I wasn't around during
I
that
think that's the
time,
best
so-
answer anyone's ever
No,
given.
yeah,
You physically couldn't. Either you're outside or, like, playing a video game system.
Yeah.
Or, like,
Yeah, no, that's very because like I wasn't around for that, but the time frame totally makes
true.
sense.
I went.
100%.
Yeah, it
right.
totally makes sense.
When I started filming, I didn't even know where to put the footage. There was
Yeah.
YouTube didn't exist for 5
Exactly,
years.
yeah.
After
So,
it would
like,
take
now
you a week and a half to upload a 5-minute clip if you did.
there was
way.
a 3-minute time limit on YouTube back in the day, right? I was mailing tapes to VHS tapes to PEI so Mike could see his stuff, right?
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
but that's a really good answer. You're the only person that's ever said that. I think if you go back and watch, when you go back and watch wrestling from 1987 and you're watching the crowd, what's the one thing you don't see? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
this shit.
100%. I'm like, whenever I watch wrestling at home and the wife's there and she's looking, I'm like, look at that crowd. I'm like, what are they doing? She's like, paying attention.
Yeah, and
I'm
even
like,
from back then,
drives me
like,
insane.
camera
Like, stop
flashes
looking
were a lot
at
more
your phone.
limited because they were invested in what the hell was
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, because you had to wait a week to get your
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's
Yeah.
the best, and that's a really good point too.
Yeah.
It's the whole fact of what do you see? Because there's been times that I've been watching like clips from around here, and something happens in the ring where like there should have been a different reaction, but then you look at the crowd and they're doing this. But some of them. Now, is that the wrestler's fault? To a degree, but also fucking technology
Yeah, it takes
takes you away.
But
Just like somebody now that won't look at us while he's on his phone.
No, I just got a message from somebody. Just trying. Thought it might be about the interview, but it wasn't.
we're live.
The person messaging could have had a question for the interview, but he did not. The questions for you, Justin. You were going up to NSPW a bit last year.
Yeah.
How come you haven't been up there lately?
Slacked off, I lost my spot.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. We went up as a tag team, and then his shoulder pulled him out from being able to do a lot of shows. So I still put my hat in and be like, okay, I still want to go. I still want to, you know what I mean? And then me and Dynamite were booked as a team for a little bit up there. And then, I slacked off and fucked up. I got no problem. It's fucking admitting it.
Are you trying to fix that? Get
Yeah.
back up there?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like me and Steve are still good. I still love the guy. He still loves me, hopefully.
That was just a business thing. That had nothing to do with friendship.
Yeah. Why are you going to pay two people, or, well, me at that point, why are you going to pay this guy to come up to do a half-ass job when I'm sure you could do it, grab someone from Quebec or it's closer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll probably do a better job at that point, especially because, like, I had a lot of issues, like health issues at the time, but that wasn't even the reason why. Like, it was just because I slacked off.
Like Tyrion now goes up there.
Kills it.
Thoughts on him going up there and
God
how
bless
he's doing?
I love that he's going up there and killing it. Like, I know the drives might be a lot on him because I used to do.
I think he drove all of it this weekend. or
Yeah, and
something?
like I've been there. I've been in his
Yeah.
position. Like him and Casey have taken over our spot in the sense of like most times they'll drive the truck now.
Yeah.
We got to drive our vehicles for people, but
Yeah.
like we've gone back and done the truck thing as well, obviously. But
I'm comfortable with that though. You know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
have T and Casey.
oh,
take
100%.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely, I
they
trust them.
they got it so easily.
Yep.
The behind the scenes stuff.
Both
so
those guys are always there, super early.
Yeah,
Casey
they got
and
it
Tyrion
easily,
helping
and
out.
then I like even Suave said he's like, oh, I got a new Sabotage.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like I got more people like this.
Yeah.
I love that Big T is going up there and killing it.
Yeah.
Like
Is there anyone else from here that you wish would like take advantage of that or try and go? Because I know
Cody
Cody's
Blade's
going
going
out
out.
too.
Cody Blade's going
and Chris
out.
goes, or Dylan Davis goes.
Yeah.
Who? Yeah, Dino goes.
That's pretty much it for right now.
I think Kobe would do good up there.
Kobe would do great.
Yeah.
Kobe would do fantastic.
I think he'd kill the crowds up there.
Yeah, especially with people like, because they just eat up people like Frankie the Mobster and stuff like that. So have such a character-driven
Him versus
person
Brad
out
Alexis
there.
would be hilarious.
Oh
Anyways,
my god!
anyone should try to go up there.
Yeah, right.
Like anyone should, like in all reality, you shouldn't want to stay just around your area.
You should want to leave.
You should want to leave 100%. And like
Absolutely.
that's why, like when Marcus said, "Oh, I'm going down to Philly
Yeah.
for ROH stuff," right away I'm like, I'll drive.
Yeah.
I want to go. Like that means I get to learn from new people, wrestle new people,
Yeah.
see different how different things are set up, all this shit.
Yeah.
Like Danny Cage hauled me away from the ring at the end of the show. He's like, no, my students do this at the end. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't mind. He's like, no. He's like, go away, type thing. I was like, but I want. He threw me his shirt. He's like, get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
fine.
Who's the best wrestler you have ever seen?
I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like live?
No, just ever. Television.
Oh shit.
I'd have to go Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels, I don't know. It's just between in-ring work and character stuff. It's just like I don't know who to really pick.
Fuck, that's such a broad question.
Right? I know because it's literally like two handfuls of people.
If you
that
could,
mash
like,
together. and make
if
a
you were to go
Megazord.
watch one person's match right now, who would you choose?
First name pops your head.
Yeah. Don't even think. Just say
Tanahashi.
name. Who?
Tanahashi.
Tanahashi.
And I really like Bushi.
Kota Ibushi?
He's
so good, it's ridiculous.
Sorry. Bushi's a different character.
Yeah.
Yes, Kota Ibushi.
I didn't see a lot of his stuff until he worked Cedric Alexander at the CWC a couple years ago. Oh, blew my mind. Thoughts on the effort a pro wrestler needs to have in the gym, getting properly trained, and getting booked other places?
Who's that?
Me.
Oh,
We're done with fan questions.
okay. I was like, fuck, that's that one.
Kobe. No, it's got to be like, man, you have to be 110%. If not, like you suffer. Like my shoulder is proof of that. If you do not train hard and properly and safely, you will get hurt. You will not look the part. You will just make the other person work twice as hard to work around you. It's just do it right.
You can't be good at one thing.
No.
You can't be good at moves in the ring and then not have a
Not anymore. You could.
Not anymore. No, not
Yeah.
anymore. Not anymore. But now you can't. You have to have an all-around aspect of it all.
Yep,
you have
agreed.
to be able to be strong enough to support these people.
Yep.
So, you're doing things, and you have to be to a certain degree athletically inclined to be able to do some of this stuff. And then the gym is just 100% important. 100%.
Yep.
And if you don't have access to a ring, you can still stay in a chain. You can still study your ass
Yep.
off.
You can do push-ups in your kitchen.
100%.
That's right.
100%.
Yeah, I knew a guy that didn't have he couldn't afford the gym or didn't have access to the gym or something, so he did push-ups like all day long.
Oh, yeah.
He grew a chest. Like,
Yeah.
Thoughts on the support the fans give Maritime Wrestling and give you guys as a tag team?
It's amazing, especially what's going on right now. How like everything's so torn. Man, you still have those people that are just they go like we get messages and there's people saying that like we'll go wherever you guys go.
Yeah, it's like, we don't want that.
No, like, that's
But
not
they're,
what-
the dedication of those fans are like, we put so much behind you guys that you're,
Yeah.
they feel a part of that family too, and they are. But
It's a good feeling.
and for us, it mostly started because we were face around here. We're good guys around here, and then kids just started really liking us. And then when the kids got loud, other people got loud, and then they started liking us. So it was just kind of like a slow growth, but I appreciate it to a degree. I fucking hate you all. No, I'm kidding. That's where it cuts. That's where the interview cuts off. Right?
That's the whole interview.
No, of course I appreciate it.
If you could put one match on a DVD that you guys had together, What match would you choose to show somebody what you do?
I don't know. Kind of like the ladder match, and I know it's a gimmick match, but the ladder match was just really fun for me. It's just that, and probably there was a match that we had with Dubai's in, I want to say Kenford.
The one we took the belt from?
No, it was one before that. Or no, it was that one.
It was that one. That was a good match.
That was a
good
good
match.
So yeah.
Someone knocked my camera over before that match and made this shit go fuzzy.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah.
It's out every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I fixed it, thankfully, but I was so pissed during your match. I'm like, stop.
Stop.
No, that was a good match.
That was a good match.
Yeah, probably them too, I guess.
Who do you guys think is the best wrestler in the Maritimes right now?
He's not wrestling right now.
You can say Dick.
Dick.
Kobe said Dick.
Dick.
Yeah.
The guy does things that doesn't make sense.
He's a big dude to do some of the stuff that
Yes.
he does. Like,
He's my size.
Yeah.
He's my size.
Yeah.
Thicker and better shape, but he's my size. He's 6'2". He's like 240 pounds.
yeah.
Does moonsaults.
Yeah, the
Shooting
split-legged
star press.
moonsault,
Split-legged
yeah.
moonsault and shooting star press.
I never saw him do the shooting star. I wish.
Oh man, it's.
I've heard about it.
It's
I've never seen
beautiful.
it.
It's majestic.
Yeah. What does the future hold for you guys as a tag team and as individuals?
Big things, I hope.
As much we want to put it as much work in this year as possible. We want to grow physically and in the ring, like psychology wise. So like my biggest goal this year is to have like a match of the year candidate.
Yeah.
Like not a, oh man, there was a wicked spot in your match or a couple wicked spots. I want people to be hyped from the absolute beginning and right to the absolute end. And it's because of our work ethic and stories holding the ring. So that's my biggest goal this year.
Same. I just want that personal and professional growth. And physical growth really too. Because, I don't need any more injuries and stuff like that.
And singles, and not singles wise, but so, like individually. There is no individually. That's the weird thing.
That's,
we live together.
we do everything.
You know what I mean? Like we do absolutely almost everything together. So
We got another fan question here.
Ooh.
Connor Smith, looking back, how has the journey in wrestling been so far?
Wild.
wild.
Fun, ups and downs, but that's to be expected, but whatever. Never what I expected, but I almost wouldn't change anything.
Almost?
I can put it in one word.
Alright.
Frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that.
It's been really good, but there's been times where I've had to step back because my experience in real world stuff. Because I've been all over the world. I've been to Dubai and Oman and Djibouti and Kuwait and Ireland and Scotland and
When you get booked?
Greenland. This was before I was trained. Yeah, this was before I was trained. This is when I was on deployment. I've been out these places and I've got a lot of life experience from working a lot. I've been working since I'm 15 years old and I've worked a shit ton of jobs. There's been times where I've had to step back and been like, okay, I need to understand that these people probably haven't experienced this.
Mm-hmm.
These people probably haven't done this.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to
Yeah.
do that. A long time to be able to like step back. Kobe's helped me whirlwind of that.
I don't know. It's just
He doesn't
wrestling
remember
is-
the question.
No, it is frustrating.
I think we're on the next question, aren't we?
No, it's a journey.
Yeah, it is a journey, man. It's such an
That was
up and
20
down.
questions ago, Connor.
Damn. So when did we win the belts? Yeah, it is frustrating, but I mean, like I said, I almost wouldn't change anything. There's a few things here and there, but I mean, I guess all in all, I wouldn't change anything because without what has happened, I wouldn't be where I am right now, and I wouldn't know what I know right now going forward. So, because everything is so unexpected. Like if you don't go through this stuff now, it's gonna happen eventually, no matter what. So to have that experience now, this early into our wrestling careers or whatever, it's yeah, it sucks, but it's what's required to grow as a professional and a human in the business, which is psychotic, but I love it.
Do you have any closing comments for any fans, friends, or family that might be watching this?
Nope.
Not really. In all honesty, not really. Like basically anyone that's going to be watching this from around here knows most of our story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not all of it. We can get into more stuff another time. But as for anyone watching this, to the fans, thanks for coming out and supporting wrestling. Keep buying our shit, but keep booing us. So whatever that happy medium is for you. Any of the boys that are watching, like on the rosters and stuff like that, to the ones that know I love them, they know it. To the ones that don't, they know it. So
I don't know, like, thanks for the support from, like, everybody. I never really thought I'd ever be here. You know what I mean? Like, to the point we are right now, which is pretty crazy.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, so, and like, the support from the boys, like, it's just, it's a family that I never thought I'd have. Through my ups and downs, like, I've been through a shit ton of them, and they're there every step of the way. So it's a family that I never had, but I got anyways. They're a bunch of weirdos, but love you all.
Yeah, and get ready for 2019 because we have ideas planned for ourselves. That we want people to just their jobs to drop.
Do you want to talk about anything that I haven't mentioned yet? Is there anything else you wanted to touch on? No? Where can we see you guys in action next?
Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling, February 18th, Montreal.
At the dojo.
Dojo.
Facing off against Team Tight.
Team Tight.
It's for the NWA.
Another chance at the NWA Championships. Tag Team Championships.
And with UCW here?
Well,
March 1st.
No,
March 1st and 2nd. So March 2nd is here.
Halifax.
In Halifax. March 1st is up in Riverview. Yeah, Riverview. So that's.
Let's speak of the other one.
Yeah, as of right now, that's it.
All right. And where can we follow you on social media?
My Facebook, I'm just Matt Connors, or Instagram, Connors RM.
Connors.r.m.
Whatever.
Why does he know it better than you?
I'm the one that I know that has to know all the posts and tag him all the time. Justin Newhook on Facebook, and then Justin_Newhook87 on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure it's the exact same thing on Twitter, but I hardly use Twitter.
Why Newhook? Why'd you add the last name?
It's my biological father's last name.
Oh, interesting.
So it's from Newfoundland, and it's not used a lot around here. And I told him I'm going to make the name mean a lot more than he ever has.
All right. Well, with that, I would like to thank both of you for taking the time out to do this interview with me. I really appreciate it, and thanks so much for your time.